Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome. Welcome back to the Not Relatable podcast. I'm James.
I'm Brandon.
And we're going to talk about some punk bands soon, but
Some music. Talk
Yeah.
about games. Now we're going to talk about music.
and yeah, first
We talk about a game. Yes.
3 games. That was yeah.
Yes.
It's like, do you consider the Lord of the Rings movies one movie?
Can you just watch one Lord of the Rings?
You definitely can't just watch Two
One.
Towers. Like, that's for damn sure.
Exactly.
But
So
yeah,
music.
we're gonna do that. But we have a little small talk first. It sounds like yours is music related. Mine
Yes.
was game related. So
Mine is very quick, though.
sure, okay,
Very quick.
we'll do it.
All right. So, as I was making my sandwich for this podcast,
Yes.
I noticed I was listening to music, and you see the Hot Water Music put out two songs?
I didn't.
Yeah, they put them out today. I like them. They're pretty good, actually.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I like them.
That's funny because that's not a band we're going to talk about today. Because
Yeah, I know. That's what kind of reminded me. I was looking through it and I didn't see it. And I was like, wait a minute.
I did think about them, but there was a good amount of bands I thought about, and I was just like, you know what, we never knew enough of their music to place them on a
Mhm.
tier list, and that's
been-
one of
I've-
those. Because we really
been
just
listening
listened to Trusty Chords, and there's another one of their songs I really like.
Uh-huh. I have been listening to a little bit more of their stuff, but not a lot. Still.
Drag My Body. Yeah, that's a
That's a
great
good
song. Yeah, but like, it's just another big hit of theirs. So yeah, I didn't feel like we knew them enough to throw them on a tier list.
No.
Some of these we might end up even feeling that way about, but we'll have to see.
We'll get there.
Some
our
of them
catchphrase.
are. I mean, we made a tier list that we
Mhm.
can see that no one else can see because it's non-relatable.
Of course.
Nah, it's just because that's how we always do it. We don't do any video, but
Because we have sight and you do not.
yeah. But like, there's like I think 5 of these bands that I wouldn't be surprised if you could even see because they are PNGs and they're just black against a dark
Yeah.
gray. And
I can see him.
some of them are like completely cut up too. Like,
There is only one I'm not sure about, but I'm pretty sure it's Unwritten Law.
oh, Unwritten Law.
The second one?
That's here actually. So
Oh, who the hell's the second one?
second one.
Yeah, the
Here?
second, like the sec. Oh no, like the top row, second one. Next to
Oh,
AFI.
that's against me. So there's
I
a
didn't recognize the skeletons.
yeah. It does say against me above it, but you know
Yeah, it's
what?
cut off.
You know what? This will help. I'm gonna say no crop. So there we go.
God,
That
yeah,
helps
that
a little
helps.
bit. Now you can kind of. There's still these ones that are dark, that are black on dark gray.
Yeah, but they do stand out more like that. Honestly.
That's good. This
I could tell
one's
before.
almost impossible to see. We'll put that somewhere in the middle. But yeah, no one else
Okay.
can see that, so we'll stop talking about it.
That's a nice problem.
So you just wanted to say that those songs are good, and I should check them out.
Yeah, because I came out today or slash midnight, I guess, of Valentine's Day. So I had a feeling you probably didn't listen to them, but I wanted to at least put it on your radar because I actually really like them.
They're a good band, from what I've heard. And
I wish I knew more of them better. Do we ever have a chance to see them live? Or
no, but we did see Chuck Reagan.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because he opened for Frank and ironically Flogging Molly, which
Yep.
are both on this list.
They are.
Oh, spoiler.
We're spoiling some of the lists. We got 25 bands on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to check those out. I guess I'll talk quickly about something stupid. A game that I tried.
I suppose you will.
I played the first Mega Man game.
Oh boy, that's
you-
a hard one because there's like 2,000.
Have you ever played any Mega Man?
I played the Mega Man, a good like half of like the Mega Man X
Collection?
series.
I've heard those are really good. I
Yeah.
started
Me.
with the first Mega Man from the collection, and I would say I didn't really enjoy my time with it, which is, I guess probably controversial. I don't know, but I honestly don't know how much it was the game's fault, how much it was my fault, how much.
They are very old games.
I think the thing of it is that, and I did read briefly about this. Unsurprisingly, input lag is a big issue with playing them
Oh, I imagine.
ported on like something like a PS5
That makes a lot of sense.
because those
Considering.
games are extremely fucking tight. Like you gotta be frame perfect for so much shit, and that was
Oh, absolutely.
destroying me. Like I had like garbage coursing through my veins trying to play this, and I was just like standing up and fucking screaming. I wasn't screaming, but I was literally like, do you ever get that where you're like so frustrated that you like have to physically move? Like I had to stand up and just be like, fucking, like I fucking hate this game.
I haven't in a while. I feel like I've gotten good at containing my gamer rage.
That's good. That's good.
I just kind of swear, and like maybe I'll flip my screen off,
I
as if that does anything.
I believe I've seen on several lists. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
That Mega Man 1 is considered the worst one or one of them.
I feel a lot of games. I feel that's just not surprising to me because it's the first entry. So
Yeah.
it's just if anything, it's what hooks people to come back for more. But it's just one of those things where ish, yeah, they're just it's only uphill from there on paper in
Yeah.
theory.
Um yeah, difficulty curve anything but graceful. I'm looking at game rant. Too short. Yeah. So those were things I noticed. Um if the game wasn't extraordinarily frustrating, it would have been really short. And it was really short, I guess, because I took full advantage of the incorporated mechanic to rewind time. Sometimes to a ridiculous degree, a stupid degree, and it still was frustrating as shit. Like specifically, like the worst shit I had to deal with was on the Iceman level. Um, there are some
Mhm.
crazy ass jumps that you're expected to make perfectly. Um, at this one part where you're like climbing, uh,
Mhm.
that like anyone who knows the game would know what I mean, I guess. But it's hard to elaborate or paint a picture of. And specifically, the Iceman, the boss, was the most like frustrating thing I've ever dealt with in a game. I feel like because he's just constantly throwing like 3 blocks of ice at you, top, middle, and bottom, constantly, left and right, no matter where you go, he's throwing them, and there's just enough room. If you're frame perfect, you can jump through them, and you would constantly have to be jumping and constantly be shooting, and like it's just fucking madness. Like there was no chance I was ever going to do that legitimately, so I was literally rewinding like as much as I was clicking square. Like I was just like rewind, click, like jump, click, rewind, click for like 20 minutes straight. It was so fucking frustrating. It did not feel rewarding. I did not think I could. I would have never been able. I would never be able to play that like naturally. I like I have no idea how someone could enjoy that. And like the same shit happened on I think it was the Gutsman level. I don't know. There was another part where you had to jump perfectly onto these like moving carts that also like, or I guess they're moving platforms, but they go over holes and like the platforms drop, and
Mhm.
you have to
Classic.
jump perfectly, like 4 times in a row, frame perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, move the exact right amount, right, and jump like perfectly. I mean, man, it's
Mhm.
impossible to describe how fucking frustrating. Even with the rewind, perfectly rewinding every jump, it still took like 5 minutes, and I was just standing up out of frustration. Like, I I can't even uh possibly describe it, but like goddamn, I did play the whole game using this extremely cheesy method that was not enjoyable at all. Really, the only level that I did almost completely legit was Cut Man, which immediately cut me down to size. Like no pun intended. I was like, "Fuck, this
Huh.
shit's hard." But then I did eventually legitimately get to the boss without using any rewind, and I just once I discovered how useful the rewind could be, I just used it against the boss because I did not want to run through the level again. But yeah, if you're actually good at these games, the game must be like 15 minutes long because the levels
Mm-hmm.
aren't that long, and there's six of them.
Yeah, it's kind of the same even in like Mega Man X. Like if you know what you're doing, you can blaze through those levels.
If you are that fucking mastermind who can fucking you do all that frame perfect bullshit, you're gonna be done with the game in 15 minutes. But which, god damn, it's just like I don't like that as a as a concept for a game that's just so fucking ridiculously um like perfect frame frustrating ass bullshit to the point where yeah, it might take you like 8 hours to beat it, but it's only because you're doing the same shit over and over and over again. Like being frustrated beyond all
Mm-hmm.
belief. Like, god damn it. I can only have hope that like I've heard that the Mega Man X games are great.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to try the X games, but like I'm pretty
I think they're both
traditional with
better.
games usually, and I do like to try the first one first if I can for any game. Sorry, what'd you say?
Because yeah, I think the X's are really good. At least like I
That's,
never heard anything bad about them.
no, I always hear that it's good. Um, I
I think it's
immediately,
yeah, just sorry.
I was just saying, I immediately booted up Mega Man 8 just to see how much it changed, and it definitely was different. It seemed a lot less frustrating, but I didn't give it. I gave it like 5 minutes. I did not want to play more Mega Man after the first one. But like I could see myself like getting into something like that a little easier than the first one. And yeah, I think I should just try X next because all I ever hear is how good the X games are.
Yeah, I think it's the same formula, obviously, just without playing the first ones, it just seems more balanced, I guess. Like you don't gotta be so perfect.
Makes sense. Also, the games tell you fucking jack shit, which is kind of just how it was back then. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's how it took me again using this super cheesy method, so I wasn't as angry as I could have been, but like it took me I want to say until the fourth or fifth like level to realize that I could change my weapon. That I
Yeah, that's
was
yeah, it's very important in the Mega Man series.
yeah, to
'Cause,
realize that like these things that I was collecting at the end of boss battles could actually be used.
mhm.
I just
Yeah,
have to
because
pause, hover over what I want, and then unpause.
yeah, because like I'm not sure. Probably every enemy has their own weaknesses, but every boss has their own strength and weaknesses. So one
Mm.
bot you're defeating, so like there's technically like a suggested order of bosses because one boss's ability will help you defeat another boss, who will help you
Yeah.
defeat another boss, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and I didn't look up what order I should do either until I was particularly frustrated. And then I realized again, like 4 or 5 levels in, not only that I could change my weapon, but that the I totally just lost my train of thought because I thought about something else.
Wow.
But you get the point. No, I what I realized is I technically didn't finish it because I got to the final boss and I said fuck this. I got to the Wiley or whatever his name is, and I
Why,
just
Dr. Wiley?
yeah, I was like even with rewind like I'm not putting myself through that anguish again. I just shut it off. Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah, I have no idea without having some background knowledge of the series that I shouldn't just play them in like the clockwise order. Like I was like, okay, well, I guess I can do whatever I want, but my gamer instinct tells me I'm gonna start with the first one that is highlighted and then work right and just go around the circle. No.
Nope.
No. Like
They don't do that.
yeah.
I learned that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I was a kid playing X. Because
And then you gotta just somehow
Totally.
figure out which order is like the right one. Without looking it up,
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like, man, I just didn't feel like it was a good game, which maybe a lot of people wouldn't argue because it seems like the first one isn't as loved as the rest of them.
seems like it.
But also, yeah,
I love that official art, by the way.
this, yeah.
Yeah. I know
The
people,
child,
whoever
yeah.
listening can't see it, but that's whole. I love that.
Well, if you look up the game ranking every Mega Man game from worst to best, then you'll see it.
Yeah. Game rank.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's him. That's the Mega Man.
But yeah, I just wanted to try a Mega Man game, and I was like, "Fuck this." But yeah, I'll try Mega Man X, and that's what I wanted to say
That's-
about that.
That do be that. That was Mega Man.
All right, let's talk about some punk bands, and I
Talk
just
about music.
yeah, I wanna come out here right at the top and say like, just like everything else we do, these are the punk bands that we grew up on. These are not the
Yeah,
greatest punk bands of all time. These are not the ones.
And even then,
What's up?
I was saying, even then, that's like the most like crossover we have, probably.
Yeah, exactly. We do have. There were 25 bands or artists that I put together here that we could talk about. So that is a pretty big crossover for us.
Yeah, consider how much we splintered in our like, adult life.
In our interests. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the bands here, the only thing I did was make an effort to put bands here that have been considered punk in one way or another that we both
Mhm.
listened to or like know enough songs to really like give an opinion about, you know. So that's it. So like for example, like Black Flag isn't on here. We didn't both listen to enough Black Flag to put that on here. Minor Threat
Yeah.
isn't on here. Like I know generally some Minor Threat, but
Yeah. I know like 2 songs from each of them.
yeah, so like like a bunch of the big name classics like and yeah, those aren't here, but yet Blink 182 is on here.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
a
we were
lot of
both-
people like we're not here to debate is Blink 182 punk. We're not here to debate
Yeah.
is Green Day punk. Or anything. It's just like if these bands have been considered punk
At one point in
by
their
themselves or yeah, at any point in their if yeah, you get it. Then they're on here. So like another example quick, I guess. I didn't include Billy Talent, even though that's a
Yeah,
band that
they're more alternative rock, right?
yeah, I feel like they've kind of got that. I've never really heard them called punk, even though they definitely have punk tendencies. They have some punk songs. Like I've never heard them classified as punk. They're just like called a rock band, I think, usually. So like
Yeah. That's what I think alternative rock fits them really well.
yeah. And then yeah.
They have a very unique sound.
So I include bands that are considered punk by someone or other. or are in a subgenre of punk, like a ska punk band, for example. There are some of those. So, all right,
Mhm.
I feel like that's a good disclaimer that you shouldn't expect like some of the giants of punk rock to be here because we grew up on quite a niche set of punk bands from like Fat Records and Epitaph and stuff like that. Mostly like 90s stuff. I would say so.
Yeah.
90s and 2000s.
Persisted.
So let's freaking do it then.
All right.
Do you just want to go in order? Or I guess it's kind of almost in alphabetical order.
Yep.
There's some that aren't, or should we just pick random ones?
Yeah, we might as well go in order. I mean, why not? It's already there.
Let's do it. All right. And we're gonna make a concerted effort to keep this shorter than our last episode.
Yeah.
All right, we got AFI. AFI up. Now, do we want to talk about AFI? Or do we want to talk about where we think they should be and then talk about AFI?
Um, I don't really have much to say about them. I'll be honest. I've never seen them live. I know you have at least once off the top of my head.
A
Since
few.
you've been out there.
Yeah, a few
Since
times.
there's only one time that I could recall since you've been in LA. But um, yeah. I mean, I like them. I like a lot of their older stuff, and then like Miss Murder is kind of like that obligatory uh emo
They
guilty pleasure, I guess.
they had the emo phase for sure. Um,
But that's just kind of like I feel like I don't have anything like substantial to say about them other than I like their old stuff. It's pretty. It's punk. You know, it's good shit.
yeah, I mean, okay, I guess one other thing we didn't clear up. Personally, I think we're on the same page. We're not judging them as how punk they are. We're judging them on how much we
Oh yeah,
enjoy them, right?
yeah.
Like
I was just
these
gonna
are
say
bands that have been considered punk, but like we're not considering how punk they are for if they get an S tier or whatever.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool,
Oh
cool,
yeah,
cool. Because when it comes to AFI, obviously I love AFI. I grew up with
yeah.
AFI. I grew up with all these, but like
So you have a AFI tattoo?
I do, and it is from their like horror punk era. Probably my favorite era, like the Black Sails album and Art of Drowning, are
Good shit.
yeah some of my favorite AFI music for sure. I do also like stuff past that. I like Sing the Sorrow. I like December Underground even. And I really fucking like Crash Love, which is weirdly like an album that didn't get much attention for them, but I think like it's all preference. But if you're not talking about their punk like kind of era, if you're talking post Sing the Sorrow, I think Crash Love is probably their most consistent album. And I wouldn't doubt that you probably don't know that one that well. So
Not by name. I'd have to look at it.
it's got like Medicate on it and um what like End Transmission, Beautiful Thieves. Some songs that we used to do on Rock Band and back in the day.
Yeah, they sound familiar.
Yeah. Um that said, I haven't enjoyed much since Crash Love. I wasn't big on
Hmm.
Burials and I mean just save for a few songs from each album. Like Burials and the Blood
Yeah,
album each had like a couple songs I could get down with.
yeah. I remember liking one or two recent.
Yeah. But like and everything they've put out since then is just not really vibe with me. And most of the shit since Crash Love hasn't worked for me quite as much. That said, yeah, old AFI, I'm totally with you and like I think there's just like a niche group of us who like can't get over how good old AFI was.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like every song, like yeah, you can say the thing you would always say about punk music. It's like, oh, this all sounds the same, but like, it's such a good sound. Like no other punk
It's a
band
good.
sounds like that, and it's like
It's a
probably because Davey's vocal delivery mostly
exactly.
is like musically, I get it. It's not that far off from a lot of the other punk bands, but geez, I don't know. The shit is so catchy, and I don't know. The lyrics are good, probably because he's always
Hmm.
been a good lyricist. But yeah, anything. And I consider that whole era like their vibe might have changed. Like the first couple albums might have been more like silly, like Cereal Wars, and I want to get a mohawk and shit like that. Like might not be the most serious songs in the world. um, but I
Don't
consider
have to be don't have to be serious 24/7.
yeah, no, I consider, but I consider like that all the way up through The Art of Drowning, which is obviously much more depressing or whatever, like emo lyrically, and like the vibe is more horror punk and whatever. Uh, I consider that all to be like old AFI, where every song was just super fast and Davey was doing that kind of singing, screaming type of thing. Super melodic. Great, great stuff.
It's one of those things you hear it and you're like, yeah, that's AFI.
For just like straight punk music, old AFI is like fucking, you're eating good, in my opinion. For that style of punk, like
Mm-hmm.
alone, they're like my preference, honestly. Um, but yeah, I guess you do have to consider like the whole career. I guess either way, they're up there for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say a pretty generous A, personally.
What'd you say?
I would say it's a pretty generous A.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I was going to go A as well. I was like, if we're just talking about that style of punk, it's 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 ideal. Like it's S. But if you do consider the rest of their career, then like there's of course been misses. And I don't
Yeah.
know. We also didn't discuss like if we should just not hold the misses against them and just like consider how good was the best stuff. But we didn't really come up with a plan for this. But
We never do.
that's just the way it
Oh.
is. I think
I
whatever.
mean,
We agree, and that's all that matters.
yeah. I think it's just something we could acknowledge that, yeah, just a lot of bands tend to change their
Their sound.
sound, I guess. They're just trying to branch out, try something different. They're getting older. Yeah, we'll see that with Green Day, for example, when we get there.
Oh yeah,
But like it's natural, and I'll never hold it against them. But like, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's not for me, and that's okay.
that is okay. Let's go on to the next one. We're basically going to be in alphabetical order for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, for most of it.
So we've got Against Me up next, and they're
Mhm.
quite an interesting catalog. I don't know how intimately familiar you are with their catalog.
Not greatly. I will admit that's another band I didn't explore too much, and I kind of regret it.
But
Like,
you definitely know a good chunk of songs, and we've seen
yeah,
them
I
live
know.
together,
Yeah, we've seen them live twice together at least.
and I've seen them more than that.
Uh,
So yeah,
uh, but I know like 3 albums.
that's pretty good.
But uh, but I know there's a lot more that I don't.
My
Uh,
personal take with them is I don't know. They really did change a lot after there's like pretty much pre new wave Against Me, and then there's post new wave Against Me.
I lied. I might know like 4 or 5 albums actually.
There you go. Even more. But the thing is, they kind of have three eras, I would say. And it's like there's pre new wave,
Mhm.
and then like I would say new wave and White Crosses are like their own era, like the middle era. And
Yeah,
then once you reach Transgender Dysphoria Blues onward, which they put out that one and another album, and they haven't released an album in 8 years now. So
yeah, 2016. Yeah,
when
it
we
was
saw them, we
Shapeshifter.
saw them on that tour. Um,
Yeah, because we saw them at Rockfest, and then we saw them in Montreal.
yeah, so that's like kind of like in my head, like the third era of their music, where they're all kind of distinct. Like that first era was folk punk. It was just straight up folk punk, and then like it became a bit more punk rock, and then the second era was like kind of more commercial sounding rock with
Still good.
yeah with new wave and White Crosses. Yeah, there's some great stuff on those albums. The Ocean is a great song. I love that song.
Yeah, Thrash Unreal will always be like a classic because of Rock Band.
Yes, and Stop was always fun to
Oh yeah,
play
Stop.
on
Yeah,
Rock
Stop.
Band as
Yeah.
well. And then from White Crosses you have Because of the Shame. That's like a great song
Mm-hmm.
from them during that era.
Teenage Anarchist is just a classic.
Yep, that
For
was
this,
like maybe their biggest song still. I don't know. I haven't checked, but um,
Uh, Based on Spotify, it's their second biggest.
oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, because Thrash
Thrash
Unreal,
Unreal.
yeah. And then after you get to Transgender Dysphoria Blues and Shapeshift with me, and those are like a totally different approach, which makes sense because obviously it was kind of more of a like journal. It was
Mhm.
yeah, it felt a lot more personal to Laura and what she was going through with transitioning, and then honestly, both those albums they were kind of like sister albums where they both kind of are generally about this one thing, and it's very personal, and the music's a different approach. Like it's not there's nothing folky about it anymore. It doesn't even sound corporate rock or what commercial rock, whatever. It's just like it's noisier, it's messier, it's kind of like artsier even, I guess. But weirdly, it's the era that has maybe resonated with me the least, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't remember much of Shapeshift with me personally. I remember listening to it when it came out,
There is
but I
some good
remember,
shit on there.
but I do like Transgender Dysphoria Blues. I do like that a lot.
That's
I
good too. I like.
that.
There's not an album that I don't like. It's just I say they
Mhm.
resonate with me the least. I think based on the sound of them. But even as my taste has changed, I've gone back to Shapeshift with me and stuff. Like there's some songs on there that I'm like, wow, this is a lot more in line with what my taste is now.
Mhm. Yeah, I might need to revisit them. It's been a while.
But yeah, it's definitely different. Um,
Mhm.
I would say with Against Me, they're kind of like a goat of folk punk though. Uh, with their like first album, I would even say their first two albums, but like their first album, Reinventing Axl Rose, has really. It's kind of like I'm not big into folk punk, but that album is.
Mhm.
I'm like one of the goats in that scene.
Ends up Guinness just goes hard.
Oh yeah, no,
You
it's
cannot not get hyped.
it's an amazing album, and I'm again not a folk punk guy really. Mo was like huge on folk punk, and he was into Against Me, but like every other folk punk band or like artist he showed me, I was just like, I don't like this. um, so I don't know, it just never worked for me. But fucking the Against Me shit, I love it, and yeah, it's amazing
Love it.
live, especially the stuff with the gang vocals.
Mhm.
Um,
Even when we saw them at Rockfest, which is borderline unlike unintelligible, like you can't even understand what people are saying. Even that was enjoyable.
for sure. So we're I don't know. I'll defer to you for this. If you've got an opinion, nothing immediate. You didn't have an answer in the bank like with
I did
AFI.
not.
I don't either, but
I feel like yes, because I feel like AFI's. I don't know, man. I feel like I couldn't. I can't go lower than B, no matter what.
no, I agree. It's in the A or B area
Mm.
for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
B plus.
I'm happy to go B. Honestly, for me, that's because there is like the post new wave stuff. Just I mean, new wave and after, just generally doesn't hit me as much as the stuff before it. Like there's still good shit on there and some songs that I absolutely love there, but it's
Mhm.
like a good half of their career at this point that doesn't hit me as much as the first half. Like songs like Miami, fucking banger,
Love, love it.
or fucking I love that album, the one with Searching for a Former Clarity, which I guess is
Yes.
like seen as
I cannot do the shit you do. I could not remember your album titles. And
it,
I'm looking at it.
it was kind of seen as a disappointment in their career at that point, which is weird to
Okay.
me because I really liked that album, and I guess I think Laura's commented like some of those songs weren't even finished and all this stuff, but I don't know, like the
I like Don't Lose Step.
yeah, Don't Lose Touch. You have the Energizer on there. Um, obviously, yeah, we already mentioned Miami and Unprotected Sex with Multiple Partners, which is a song title. Um,
It is. It do be.
there
I
are
can't get
so
fun.
many good songs on there, and then uh, yeah, there's as the Eternal Cowboy. I was gonna name a song from that, but I cannot remember the name for the life of me.
Uh, it has Sing Florida Sink on it.
That's a fucking banger to end all bangers. I would love to cover that song live just because I believe that's one of those songs that you can sing in any room. People don't
Mhm.
have to know it even, and they'll fucking get down with it and they'll start singing along because it's just that kind of song.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorite reggae covers. Mad Caddies. Yeah, Mad Caddies. No, no, yeah. They covered that with a reggae cover. It's pretty good.
I don't think I've heard it, but I did know about it, so I'll have to check
Pretty
that
good.
out.
It's pretty good.
Um, yeah, no, there's the one. Um, where what the fuck? I should just look it up at this point so I don't spend a bunch of time trying to. As the Eternal Cowboy.
Uh,
Ugh, I'm just spelling everything wrong now. It's of course it's one of these. Oh, You Look Like I Need a Drink is a great song, but still not the one I was thinking of. Here, yeah, turn those clapping hands. It has a long ass title. Turn those clapping hands into angry bald fists. That's why I couldn't remember it.
yeah.
Yeah. Fucking great song. And then yeah, we don't need to even discuss like every song on the first album's a banger. Those anarcho punks are mysterious or whatever it's called is such a fucking catchy ass song. I Still Love You, Julie, Pints of Guinness. So much good shit. Um, I mean, so yeah, I did say B, but if you're feeling A, like the first half of their career
I
could definitely
feel
put them in A for me.
um
But I could still go B because then there is the rest of it.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm personally leaning B, but I'm also acknowledging I need to revisit them and kind of like I just need to revisit that.
Well, hey, if you were personally leaning B, I was as well. So we'll do that. But I did just go on a tangent of my love for the first several years.
You did do that.
So we know that. We know that I do love. There's love.
Yes.
All right, big one. Big one for me anyway. We got Alkaline Trio. Um who is
There I want to throw the recency bias out there quick right there, right real quick, is I've actually been listening to their most recent album a lot lately.
it,
Like all the way through. I'll just play the album.
it's good, right?
I really like that new album, yeah.
The new album's good. And
Like I feel like it's not anything revolutionary. Like it's Alkaline Trio, but like, it's good shit.
it's very good for like admittedly with them they've got a few albums that I just never did it for me as much.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah, most of these bands reach a point where it's like there's an album and then from that point on they didn't quite hit that stride again. And for me it's after Crimson, like
Mm-hmm.
that there's some songs here and there that I like, uh, but yeah, their new album is fucking good. uh Bad Time is a great fucking song. That one kept getting stuck in my head. Maybe want to go see him on the tour that they're about to embark on.
Oh yeah. Oddly hot for Preacher, the guitar in that scratches the same kind of itch that Warhol does with the drums. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard the song enough.
I think it's one. No, I think it's one. Is it one? Am I thinking? I think maybe I'm
I
thinking
want to
about
be a
Warbrain.
Warhol.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about Warbrain.
Oh, Warbrain. Yeah.
Yeah, like you like the drums in that. Like release the intro.
Yeah.
it like scratches like that same niche in my brain, like the guitar
I have
in Alpha.
not gone through and listened to the album multiple times. I did one listen through the whole album, and I've heard each of the singles at least twice. Bad Time a few more because
It's a good song.
so I really like that one. But I was liking all the singles, and I thought like, wow, for like the point in their career that they're at, this is especially like great. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that's even recency bias. It's just they just dropped an album, and it
Yeah,
could have been bad. And there's like probably another band
yeah, there
on here that
was.
will. There's probably other bands on here that we'll talk about that also just put out albums that didn't hit for us. So
Yeah, because this came out on January 25th, and we are recording this technically the night of Valentine's Day. So
yeah,
it's pretty recent.
pretty recent. But that said, fucking goddamn, they hit such a stride in their earlier career as well because everything from goddamn it to Crimson is gold to me. Um,
Yeah, a lot of their early stuff is really good too.
and the bookends of that are gold. Like Crimson and goddamn it might be my two favorites, and they're totally different. Goddamn it's raw
Ooh.
and energetic, and um, it's got that like distinct early trio sound to it. And then Crimson is like clean. Like not every song is super upbeat. Uh, it's like yeah, they're almost like opposites from a production standpoint, and they're
hmm
equally as good in my opinion.
Uh, I can't say it for a lot of bands, but actually, I really like their acoustic album. Like they sound really good acoustic,
I, n-
and I do feel like it's mainly the lyric, like the vocals, for me at least.
I never listened to it as much as the non-acoustic albums, or yeah, obviously.
It's one of those things where it pops up in my playlists, and there have been a few times where I've just been in the mood for acoustics, but like I said, it's just one of the just for me one of those just acoustic albums that just kind of stood out to me that I like it a lot.
I don't
Just
doubt
because
it.
it's its trio, just acoustic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't doubt it whatsoever. Uh,
Like I think uh, I don't remember the actual name of the song right at the moment, so okay, that's there's one song that stands out to me that's really good as good acoustic, but I don't remember the name.
I would assume, but I don't have the list of songs. And the only things I know that are on there are like Radio and Calling All Skeletons.
Calling All Skeleton. Yep,
um,
both of those are on there. Yep.
yeah, but I can't remember what else they did on there. Um. Anyway, yeah, without going into too much depth, they hit like a pretty big fucking streak of solid albums in a row.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting through a lot of banger bands here at the top. I promise we're not going to suck every band's dick. um,
Only a little bit, just a little lick on the tip.
yeah, we definitely have some stuff we like from every band here, I'm sure, but not every band's going to be like S, A, or B. But I think Alkaline Tree is up here.
Blue in the face. I actually really like that one.
That's
Yeah,
funny
that's that
because the
one.
original's also acoustic.
Maybe that's why it stands out to me.
So it's just like probably like
Maybe
a cleaner sounding version of it.
yeah. That might be why it sticks out because it's probably the only version I know of it.
They are different recordings, but yeah, the original was just acoustic, and then the one on Damnesia is like more produced sounding.
Could be why.
But yeah, fuck. The only like Agony and Irony, still not a bad album, honestly. It's just like it doesn't stand out for me as much as the other stuff. This Addiction is honestly an album I never really gave the time of day. And then you have My Shame Is True, which I also like a few songs from. But shit, they had those like three, which is kind of their slump, and then they came back with Is This Thing Cursed, and that was pretty good. And now Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs is like fucking way better than it needs to be for this late in their career.
it's a it's an interesting title, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fucking good album. Like it's been the first album in a long time, just in general, that I don't feel the need to skip a song if I'm not in the mood for it.
I could see that. Fuck. Yeah, the title track's really good on that one too.
Yeah, the Hot for a Preacher
The blood,
or
hair, and
title. Oh
eyeballs.
yeah, no, the title.
But a lot of
yeah,
people like
yeah, yeah,
Hot for Preacher. I only listened to it once, but I saw a lot of people were really digging that one.
yeah. I like that one a lot.
You're one of them. There you
Yeah, like I said, the guitar does something for me.
go. All right. um, I don't know. They're an A or an S for me because I'm looking at this list and I don't want to get like too ahead of ourselves. Like we do want there to be an even spread, I think.
But
But I think Alkaline Trio, especially like seeing what's coming up, it wouldn't be out of pocket to put them in S or A, just depending on how you feel.
then I think it might be an A.
All right, fair enough. I do have the
'Cause I
trio
was,
tattoo as well.
yeah, he does have a trio tattoo. I have a tattoo of the next one.
You do. You do.
Uh, oh, they are there. The other one's here too.
We got yes. We got Bad Religion. I mean, what hasn't been said about Bad Religion?
Baby punk. Actually, no, people said that. People say that.
Baby punk?
They be.
Oh, they be punk.
But you said what
I was
happened?
like,
You said,
I'm
like,
curious about baby punk.
well, baby punk.
Um,
It's just nursery rhymes, but punk.
I mean, fuck. They, to be frank, they inspired the entirety of the skate punk scene. Like everything
Mhm.
on Fat Records doesn't exist without Bad Religion.
They've just been around so long.
Yeah.
Actually, nice.
They have so much music also that ironically they're one of the bands that like if you just go like by percentage, they're probably one of the bands here that I know like the least of their discography because they just have
Yeah,
so much music.
yeah. That's kind of how I feel. Is despite having their logo literally tattooed on my body, is I probably could shamefully say that I probably know like less than 50% of their discography or whatever. Um, however you pronounce it, but um, but it still spans quite a good few years, and it's still got a lot of music that's really good and still hits.
Absolutely. They're for me it's like they're not a band that they're not an album band for me.
Yeah, me too.
There isn't like a whole Bad Religion album that I know, but there's enough good songs from each album. Maybe up until like
Yeah,
the more recent ones, and I guess like some in the middle there. But basically, they're mostly known for "Suffer," "No Control," and like
Mhm.
"Against the Grain," and then "Stranger Than Fiction," and like yeah,
A really fun fact, actually, is one of the few albums I've listened to all the way through. Is the Christmas songs album
I've done that too.
because I mean
When it gets to Christmas,
when it's Christmas and you need Christmas punk, they literally handed you an album on a silver platter.
they deliver. It's exactly what you think it is.
It's just Christmas songs, but Bad Religion.
Yeah, and ironically, they went for a lot of the ones that talk more about Jesus and religion, and less of the ones
Yeah,
about
look,
like Santa and snow and
yeah. Like there's literally "Oh come all you faithful," Little Drummer Boy. Like,
yeah. O come,
that's two
Emmanuel.
like yeah, it's a couple of like standouts. Yeah, yeah,
Um. Okay. So yeah, no, I know a shit.
yeah.
There's a shit ton of good shit. Some favorites. Anesthesia is a great song. There's always Infected, of course. Like probably the first song of them I ever heard. There's the hits. There's Sorrow. There's Atomic Garden is real good. Fucking actually, yeah, the Generator album in general stands out to me. And I guess people didn't like it as much because punk fans are weird and they don't like when a band does anything slightly different. but uh,
I,
which is like a big criticism of Bad Religion, I guess, is that yeah they've been around like 50 years now or whatever, almost not quite, but going on it, and
yeah,
like
yeah. I
to
mean,
this
going off
day they
spot.
mostly sound like the same, all the songs.
Yeah, I mean, going off Spotify, their first album was in '82, so that still puts them at 40. Yeah, 42 years.
Okay,
So
yeah, there we go. For some reason, I thought their first one was like 78 or something.
that's what's that going off Spotify. Who knows? Yeah,
Yeah, I
official.
think you're right. I'm thinking of some other punk band, but yeah. I was just praising the Generator album a little bit because uh, Atomic Garden and the song Generator are some of my favorites from them.
I do like Atomic Garden. I'm not familiar with the entire album though, unfortunately.
I'm not either. Again, like I'm not familiar with any entire album from them. I was just listening to some songs I like. Tiny Voices is great. How could hell be any worse? Obviously, you got like American Jesus. There's No Control.
Classic.
21st Century Digital Boy. Yeah,
Classics.
there's a lot. There's You. You is a great song.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Um, so like they made the formula and they stuck to the formula for better or worse. That is like melodic skate punk. And I never like hear a Bad Religion song and I'm just like, this sucks. Like
Yeah. I'm just usually it feels like, at least to me, is I'm just not in the mood.
exactly.
Never
Like
that
it
never
just
that the song is bad.
it sounds like Bad Religion and Bad Religion sounds good. And sometimes
Hmm.
I won't be in the mood for it, sure. Um, but like if I'm in the mood for like skate punk in that sense, then like you can't go wrong.
I think one of my favorite things is like how political they are
Yeah,
for Bad Religion, and then they're political.
of course. How could they not be?
It's a little cherry on top.
Where do you want to put Bad Religion? Well,
Ah, okay. Mm,
unless you had more to say.
I didn't.
Okay.
The rating part.
Yeah, I was like we are doing the thing we do and spending
Yeah.
longer than we need to on everything.
Yeah.
So
We
I'll
have
start
like
cutting us short when we're doing that.
yeah, we have like less than an hour, and we're on the fourth.
Yeah, no, we
I was
got
like,
25. Okay, so yeah. So Bad Religion, where do you want to put them?
I I would say A.
You would say A? Okay, okay.
I would, yeah.
Um I can do that. I can do that. We can respect. We
I
just got to
I can do that.
I promise there's going to be variety. We just I guess a lot of these bands
We just
that
think, yeah,
we think highly
of
of
these.
bands that have title like alphabetically early titles. Like this, yeah. I mean, it's not getting any better as I look at the list and where it's going. We've got Bouncing Souls next.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna say B or A.
You're just gonna say B or A right off the bat.
Yeah.
Bouncing
I'm just gonna
Souls. You know, I've got a personal connection with Bouncing
Yeah.
Souls.
I have also met Greg, not really the most biggest interaction. It just kind of shook his hand.
They're great dudes. And yeah, I do have like a little history, but I don't need to tell that story right now because we are timed. But I'll just say
Mhm.
I also have their logo tattooed on me. Um, at, at a certain age, I realized I shouldn't get every band logo tattooed on me, but I did this a while ago.
You realize we are 4 for 5 for tattoos on our body.
That's true.
I
That's
just
true.
want to. I just want to point that out real quick.
Well, yeah. So there's that. You can tell that we quite respect some of these bands up here. But yeah, how can I not get the Bouncing Souls heart across from my Alkaline Trio heart? It just had to happen.
Exactly.
Um,
At a certain point, just it had to be.
but yeah, with as far as songs go, um, ironically, I've never done like a super deep dive. uh,
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I don't feel like the same thing. I feel like I haven't just listened to an album all the way through, but it's a little different. But they're a really good live show.
they are a great live show. Um, and I know they've got a stretch of some really great albums with Hopeless Romantic, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, especially, and Anchors Away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the gold record after that. There's a lot of great stuff. I guess since we're there, I guess I would say there was some stuff on like albums past that I think is just all right. Like it's not my choice to put on. If I'm gonna listen to Bouncing Souls, it's probably gonna be
Mm-hmm.
from one of those earlier albums.
Yeah, like how I said my summer, hopeless romantic.
Right.
So yeah, it's
And
yeah. Anchors
I do
away.
think we gotta put bias aside and everything. And I agree. We'll go B with Bouncing Souls.
We got B for bouncing.
And on
I've
to
also,
what's up.
I was gonna say I do remember Simplicity coming out, but I don't. I barely remember the album. I'll be honest. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and then their newest. I mean, that's funny because we're in the cover of that album. We were at that show where they took
Yeah,
that picture.
we are on the cover.
No, there's good songs on
I just
all
don't.
the
I just
more
don't
recent
remember.
stuff. It's just yeah, it's not albums that he made a huge impact. I guess that we went back and kept listening to. And their
Mm-hmm.
newest album, I guess I could tell the story that the song Magnus Air Organ on their newest album is technically about me, so that's really cool. Because I supported their page.
Interesting.
Oh, did you even know that?
No, I don't. I don't think you've ever told me that.
Because I supported their Patreon for like a year at the highest tier, and that album was it's called 10 Stories High, and the whole goal with it was to take 10 patrons
Mm-hmm.
who were at the highest tier for a year and make a song for each of them and make an album of 10 stories.
Gotcha.
And I was just one of those people. So there's a song about me, I guess. We did like a interview over Zoom for like a half hour and they took notes and they wrote that song about what I told them.
Hmm.
And so it's pretty neat. And the song's
Yeah.
good and the album's good. And it was cool to see them play it and I got it signed and I got a really cool one of one 7-inch vinyl of Magnus Air Organ, like an acoustic version, I think. There's one in the world and I've got it.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
The inside scoop.
Yeah, that's not the whole story, but that's a little piece of it. That's a cool piece of it. All right, we'll move on. um
Descendants.
Descendants. See, this is not fair.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fraud. I have a Descendants hat, I have a Descendants shirt, but I don't know a lot of Descendants. I know like 2 or 3 albums.
I'm kind of with you. Like Milo Goes to College and then
Mm-hmm.
I Don't Want to Grow
Everything,
Up
everything,
and,
everything
and
sucks.
Everything Sucks. And I Want to Grow Up, I said, but and then some of the songs from that album they did on Fat. Um Cool to Be You, I think. There's some good shit on there too.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, maybe I listened more than I thought. I remember. I remember listening to Hyper Caffeine Magazine.
It didn't do a
Uh,
whole lot for me if I'm honest.
like I remember listening to that when it came out, and I don't remember listening to it at Milo Music College 22. Anyways,
Milo Goes to
yeah,
College?
yeah, 22. Did they re-release it,
I don't
or is
know.
it
Did they
no? Is that
re-record it? I'm
maybe? I
curious.
don't
I have
remember.
no idea. But
Yeah, Spotify. Yes. Yeah. Anyways, yes.
from what I know of the Descendants, they've got to be with at least with Bad Religion, if not better. Like I know.
I feel like I'd hold them in like the same regard where like they're they're the old guard and like, of punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Bad Religion. Sorry, Descendants are like insanely catchy songs. Like
Yeah, they're short to the point. Like they're like what I think their average is like a minute.
I think maybe on like Milo Goes to College, a lot of those ones are shorter, but like goddamn, the songs are so good. Like they're just good songs. Like I don't even like when I'm
Mhm.
thinking about punk bands, I honestly rarely even think of Descendants because like they
Yeah.
just make good songs to me. Like I'm not like, and ironically, yeah, there's a reason they're regarded as such a great punk band. Um, but yeah, like no, I think they're A or S. And if you think that we should regard them as same as Bad Religion, we could do that. I'm
Yeah, I feel
just
like they're just
as
to me like yeah, they're
I don't want to do the thing where we don't let anything be an S. So I was trying to figure out
Oh god.
what would categorize as an S for us.
Oh god. Yeah, looking ahead on it's like, oh god.
Yeah, because like we're kind of like I'm not joking. We're getting some of the better bands here, like at the start. So we should maybe be a little more lenient, but I don't know.
Yeah, cause like yeah, I guess I'm looking at it as like none of these are like my favorite, but like I really like them all.
I definitely have a
Not
couple
all.
S's here. I don't know if we're going to agree on them, but like I have a couple S tiers that
Mm-hmm.
here like that are clearly S for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go A for Descendants, I'm down. I'm saying A or S.
Feel like yeah, I feel like A for at least for me. Because like I said, I feel like they really are just like the same caliber as Bad Religion, or like
To me,
they've been around. They've been around for so long, but their music is recognizable and like it's just it hits every time.
I'm kind of in the same boat. The only thing is, I feel like if I did give them as much like attention as I gave Bad Religion, they might be higher for me because
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
I'd say like they're
there's a
more
possibility.
consistent in my opinion from what I've heard. Um, even if their newest album didn't do much for me, but I mean, that's just gonna be almost every band on here.
Yeah, because a lot of these we don't really listen to these days as much.
Yeah, and at the end when we have this all sorted out, if we failed to put anything in S, we can move some stuff around given the context
Mm-hmm.
of the full list. So we'll see when we get there.
You know what we should do?
What's up?
We should like revisit our old tier lists.
Our old tier list
Yeah, like we should like skim through our old podcast and see what our old rankings were, and then read it and see if we still agree with.
for a different like episode.
Yeah, yeah, different episode.
No, I think that would be
Free
fun.
free content.
I love that shit. I love doing meta shit. When me and Skylar did Game Shed, we like our third episode of our podcast was ranking our Game Shed series. We're like, this is for nobody but us.
Yeah.
We could rank our Panda Wagon attempts. But I think we all know how
Yeah.
that would turn out. There's not enough of
Oh
it.
yeah.
But hey,
Oh
one
yeah.
day if we ever do
The
a
old
bunch of
that
Let's
first
Plays, then we're gonna have to do the same thing.
that first era of Panda Wagon was peak.
Oh yeah. Because there's no way to access it and tell how bad it really was.
Exactly. You just have to take our word for it. Anyways.
Okay. Now here's one. We got the Gaslight
Mhm.
Anthem.
Mhm.
Which, this is where it's gonna become very clear that this is a personal list. Because
So I'm just gonna throw it and say S or A.
are you actually open to S or do you just think it'll be hard to convince me otherwise?
I have two reasons.
Okay.
One, I think that
Okay, all right.
just Gaslight Anthem, like I told you, he had been hidden. And two, I vaguely remember when I was over there in Los Angeles when we made a tier list. I'm pretty sure Gaslight Anthem was in both of our top three.
Oh, did we do like our favorite bands or something?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I can't even. I didn't even remember. The shit goes in like in the brain and then out as soon as we
This was in October.
as soon as we stop recording. I completely forget. Yeah, I'd be interested to listen back to what we said our favorite bands are. But yeah, it
Yeah, but like I
sounds
said,
like at some point I've already said Gaslight Anthem is in my top bands ever.
yeah, but like I said, that's what I said. I'm pretty sure between we both agreed it was in our top three. Like I think it was your one and like my two. I think maybe three.
It would be my one or two, probably one. It's definitely top three. And
So that was that. So yeah, that was my evidence of it being an S.
even though I will say it's not a band I actively listen to nearly as much recently, I just like whenever I sit down to think about favorite bands, like they come back into the conversation, and it's just like, yeah, like they just did release a new album not too long ago, last year, but before that album was released, they're like I knew every Gaslight Anthem song, and I loved every Gaslight Anthem song more or less. There might be like a couple that hit less for me, but like goddamn, and especially those first two albums, uh, like motherfucker.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is where it becomes clear that this is not a popularity contest, and this is definitely a personal list because I think we're gonna have to go S based on
Yeah.
just our stance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do like their newest album too. It's just like most new albums, I haven't had it on repeat or anything because it's just a thing I do now. I listen to like podcasts a lot more than I listen to music, which will probably swing back the other way at some point. But at this point in my life, I think it's more of a fact that podcasts come out so often that like
Mhm.
I feel like it's a show that I'm keeping up with that I have to like I don't want to miss an episode and like if you're watching two or three podcasts and keeping up and one of them is the H3 podcast, then you have time for nothing else. So that's
I think
what it is.
I think just yeah, it just gives you habit like structure.
Yeah.
Just having something like that.
So like when I do listen to music, I indulge in like my favorite shit these days and other than that
Hmm.
it's just podcasts. Yeah, we'll go Gaslight Anthem in the S tier. And we're on to Lagwagon.
Well,
It's an interesting one.
I would dare say A or B.
A or B right off the bat.
Hmm. I feel like they're just a reliable skate punk or just punking.
No, I totally agree. They're actually very good. Uh,
There's not many Lagwagon songs that I don't care for. I like the majority of their content.
yeah, they are another one I think maybe like the newest stuff they've come out with didn't quite hit the same for me.
Yeah.
But like yeah, even through like Resolve, like 2005, before they ever put out like Hang, which isn't a bad album. It's actually like a pretty hot comeback. It's just like it's more like metal tinged,
Hmm.
and that's not as much my thing. But
Yeah.
these guys can fucking play music. They're fucking talented.
Yeah. I remember thinking Hang was strange because it was on the harder side, but I still did like it.
Yeah,
I won't hide from the fact that it did like throw me off, considering at that point I was used to their more like punk stuff, like
yeah,
Blaze
yeah. It's
and
just
stuff like that,
it's not an
and
album
Haas.
that I really go back to. I don't sit around and listen to Lagwagon a bunch these days at all.
Yeah, I had to be in a very specific mood for Lagwagon.
But when I do like think about Lagwagon and evaluate them, I'm like that is a damn good band. They got damn catchy songs. Yeah, they're really talented.
Yeah.
It's good shit. It's
You
good shit.
do you want to tell them how or anyone how Joey did you dirty?
Joey did me dirty.
Yeah. how you had a smoke for the caper and he said he doesn't smoke, and then the next day he asked for a smoke.
I totally fucking forgot that.
I still think about that to this day. It's the funniest. It's the funniest thing
What did I ask
to
my mom for a cigarette to give to him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And you're like, here's a smoke for the caper. And then he's like, no, I don't smoke. Sorry, bud. Sorry, so sorry, bud.
what the
And then
fuck
the
was
next
that at Rockfest?
yeah, it was at Amnesia Rock Fest when we met Lagwagon at the bar.
Wow.
And then the next night when they were playing, of course, the song comes on. And you want to go to smoke for the caper? And someone threw him a cigarette.
Yeah.
And he accepted it.
Wow. That's
What a
wild.
piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
Wow.
No, no.
No.
It's a memory I'll never forget.
I think
Anyways,
I'm with
yes.
you in B tier. We put Against Me and Bouncing Souls there. That's about right.
Yeah.
And we're on to a big one. Green Day. We still haven't established like a super solid method of ranking,
We have not.
which doesn't help with Green Day because like,
Boy, are they inconsistent.
well, as of late, yeah. When you just talk about Green Day from its conception up through 2009, they're like an S tier band in terms of consistency and like just how much good shit is in there. Like,
Mhm. Like at worst, I would say they were on a slow decline with like American Idiot and like 21st Century Breakdown. But then it was, big decline with the trio. But even then, like, because like their '90s stuff was just really good.
Nimrod is
It's not that,
insane.
yeah. So it's not even that like American Idiot and 21st Century were bad. It's just the '90s were that good.
I would say I probably generally agree with that. And there's some great songs on those albums, but yeah, like
Mhm.
fucking, I don't know. If you just look at the like track list for Nimrod, which is my favorite Green Day album, like it's just insane how much good shit's packed on there. Like Hitching a Ride, and then
Mhm.
Scattered, uh, Redundant, fucking. Uh, I don't think there's a lot of misses on that one.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of their old albums, there were pretty good albums you could just play,
Yeah,
honestly.
and Green Day is a band where like at least from like I know most of Kerplunk. I know a good portion of I know like a fair portion of like Smoothed Out Slappy Hours. But once you get to Dookie, I know every song on every album from Dookie to 21st Century Breakdown. And
Well,
there's definitely some misses in there, but like generally the quality is fucking ace. Like,
yeah, no, it's good.
but yeah, like you hit the trilogy, and they
You,
haven't done it for me since Uno. Like the
mhm.
fan base has decided their newest one is like one of their best, but like I'm not on board with that.
Yeah, like Revolution Radio had like two, maybe three good songs.
Yeah, I would agree.
Father of All, I don't remember. I remember listening to it
Oh boy,
once
that one's rough.
because I just remember listening to it once, and then I remember nothing about it except for I think the self-titled.
I'm a cop to a yeah, I know. Almost everybody
Mm.
agrees that that album is hot garbage. The fans, the
Uh,
critics, like, yeah, the subreddit
yeah,
still doesn't like that, but they will say Saviors is like their best album
yeah.
since
Like there's a
American
few, there's
Idiot or whatever.
yeah, like it's not a great album, but it's just more. It's like almost like the reverse of what I said. How the '90s was just that good. It's more of the 2010s were that
They were just that bad.
bad. Yeah, the 2010s were just that bad. That a mid looks good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that's what is happening with Saviors. Not to sound all pretentious, but I think there's something to that theory where they've just
Hmm.
had such bad shit and like they just were off the heels of their worst album, almost universally agreed. And
Yeah.
they put out
Like,
Saviors, which is mid. And everyone's like, this is their
yeah.
best shit since American Idiot.
Yeah, there was two or three songs that I did enjoy, but like when your album has like 15 songs, like, well, that's not a good ratio. Now is it?
Yeah, it's not. I agree. There were a few songs that stuck out to me. Uh, fucking. I'm kind of mixed on Bobby Socks. That seems to be one a lot of people like. I think you like that one.
Yeah, I like the sound of it, like
Yeah,
because it's not a usual Green Day sound, and I feel like it's not like bad.
Dilemma is pretty good. That's
Hmm.
one of their best songs in a long time, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, then I liked Goodnight Adeline and Fancy Sauce, and yeah, this fucking song's
Hmm.
called Fancy Sauce. So I can't
I like.
speak to the lyrics, but the melody was actually pretty good.
Hmm. I remember liking The American Dream is Killing Me, but that's mainly just because like the title was free based.
Man, that the
The
song is just
song I
it's
did,
very
I noticed that.
repetitive, but it's
Yeah.
interesting. There's like a little part in the middle with like strings and like just Billy singing, and it's like reminiscent of like 21st Century Breakdown, which I think made me and probably some other people feel like, wow, like they broke up the monotony of the mid with like something kind of familiar but different after the 2010s.
Hmm.
I don't know. Fucking
Yeah.
yeah. We
Anyways.
could literally discuss Green Day all night because we have so much experience with them. But
Yeah, probably. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's a mess.
it's an S.
I think so. If we're being honest.
I mean,
Yeah, like okay, I don't know. Yeah, they're late. Yeah, the 2010s kind of. What do you think?
that's the thing. We didn't come to a consensus if they're if like the failures work against the band or if we're just judging like the highs and how good they are. Like, are we judging the
Um,
band at their best or are we judging like their whole career?
yeah, that's a hard one because I feel like if we're being honest, like when you talk about Green Day, I feel like it's like an unspoken rule. Where, like I feel like just no one acknowledges the trio. You know what I mean?
The
And
trilogy?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
the trilogy, yeah. And whenever like I talk, even like someone like Seth, an old coworker of mine, which is probably weird because I've probably mentioned him as a coworker, and now I'm saying X.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Um, even someone like him who does like Green Day, grew up with Green Day, like as those songs, like all those like early albums are coming out, and like bought like the physical copies and everything. Even like whenever I talk to him about like he wouldn't he, like knows like jack shit about like the 2010s albums, he didn't even know they came out. Like I'll tell him like, oh hey, albums, hey, Green Day's coming out with a couple of singles. And he's like, what really?
It's
They're still
disappointing.
playing?
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, it's like yeah, they're still playing. It's like yeah. So
Not
it's kind of
very
like
well, but yeah. No. No, their
it's kind
live
of like
show is still incredible and I'm seeing them this year.
so it's just one of those things where like to the average, I guess casual Green Day fan, it's like, does their worst era even exist to them? Like if you to
I
go on
don't
that.
think we've been holding the worst eras against these bands so far. So I'm okay.
I feel like at least from what we have so far, I feel like Green Day has the worst bad era. The others are just kind of like they lost their stride. They weren't.
Green Day does have yeah, no, I agree with you. Uh
It's like they didn't have their stride. They just weren't putting out the best that they could. Green Day was just putting out objectively like garbage music.
there's that. So we're not going to hold it against them. We're judging bands at their
uh,
best or
what do you think?
I think it would be consistent with our list if we fuck. The only one that sticks out is like against me, I think. I let Sway into B because of their post 2007 stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess it should matter, but maybe not like so much that it really like destroys their position. So
Hmm.
maybe they should be A.
I wouldn't be opposed to A.
Okay, A is stacking up, but I think yeah. I mean, fuck. The highs are definitely S, but the lows are like real low, like
There's gonna be
D,
gaps or
E,
like
F area. If you're talking about the lows of Green Day. All right, we
yeah.
can go.
Green Day's lows are
We
trenches.
can go A. All right, here we go. I feel like we're getting more into territory where we're gonna see some more spread amongst the bands. Personally,
Hmm.
uh,
I I think I'm gonna throw a controversial one.
what's up?
I feel like this is probably a C or lower.
We got less than Jake.
Yeah, I guess I should have said that, guys. I just threw out the ranges.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I guess explain yourself because you made the claim.
Well, okay. Um, I feel like I find myself skipping less than Jake a lot. Um, I got to be in a very particular mood for them. But when there are certain songs that do just hit no matter what, I won't lie and pretend like real world accusations haven't been playing a part in that in my mental thoughts
Yeah,
or feelings.
there's
But
some like stuff that I've seen on like Reddit and like very like very quiet stuff, but there's been some murmurs. I'm just trying to judge the music, but then again,
I guess
I
that's what I'm not.
completely didn't add anti-flag to this because of what happened. So
That's what I said. I'm not gonna pretend like that stuff doesn't influence my desire to listen to them.
for sure,
So like I'm not gonna shy away from that. I think that does impact me.
I would like to
Um,
see and hear more about those things personally. For the
uh,
sake of this list, I won't let that cloud my judgment, I guess, on their music, but I
mhm.
don't think that'll make that much of a difference, personally. But
um,
yeah, sorry, you
yeah.
finish your thought.
Um, I have only seen them live once. I know you've seen them a couple
Yeah,
times.
a handful.
Um, I don't remember being blown away. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Given that Warp Tour was just kind of
yeah.
it was it was the last Warp Tour and it was kind of just lackluster as a whole. But I don't know, I guess there's just I don't really like a lot of Less Than Jake. I guess like it's not I don't know like I like
They're good. They're good
there's
live, but
I
they
don't
aren't.
know.
Yeah, I agree. They're not like a band that's gonna blow you away.
Like I said, I guess I just don't know how to put into words like
It's fair.
like Anthem, yeah, Hell I Rock You, Few in with the Outcrowd, stuff like that. Like, but just like I don't know, like I don't. I remember listening to Silver Lining and Sound Off the Alarm when those came
Eh.
out. Yeah, like I don't remember
Dude,
them,
yeah,
but
no.
I remember listening to
I
them.
personally don't feel like they've put out anything that grabbed my attention since like I discovered them. Like you know,
Hmm.
they're one of those bands
So,
and like personally, yeah, Anthem's good. Honestly, there's some tracks on there that I don't love, but like there's some really good shit on there. And then Losing
mhm.
Streak
Yeah, losing
and
streak.
Hella Rock View are easily like their best era to me. Those two albums back to back. And honestly, a lot of it after like uh Borders is pretty good and Anthem's pretty good. There's a couple songs here and there that I like, but I'm generally like overall
Mhm.
gonna agree that like they they aren't doing anything astounding. Like
Hmm. They're just a solid ska punk.
they've got some good catchy stuff. Even their best shit though, yeah, isn't astounding to me. And I would agree that they're a C tier band, honestly. So there we go, our first C. All right, we have another big one.
Yeah, we do.
A,
A big one. A very recognizable,
a band that's finally
I guess.
throwing in the towel this year. Apparently, it's been
What?
quite a while. They've been posting for a
Interesting.
while about how they're on their last tour, and it just keeps going and going and going. But like, yeah, we're
I feel like
what's up?
there's a tiny tangent. Because I feel like I follow all these bands, like, but I never see any posts about them. But I think that's just a social media problem.
It'd be like that.
Any, but anyways,
We got no effects.
yes, no effects.
No, I guess.
Fat,
Huh?
the fat records themselves.
Yeah,
Well,
I
Fat
guess
Mike, Fat
right
Mike.
off the bat, I should say, this is similar to a Bad Religion situation for me, where I don't know nearly as many No Effects songs as I probably should for how long I've known
Yeah,
them and like for how much I
yeah,
like talked
yeah.
about
I
them
feel
as a
like,
kid.
yeah. I mean, I literally have a Fat Records flag on my wall, and I feel like, at least for me, I know I haven't, but No Effects just feels like that band like I've just always known.
Yeah,
They've just always
I
been
have
there.
known them for a
But then
very
like
long time, but yeah.
it's like then I actually look at their albums and I'm pretty sure I've only actively known them. Yeah, I only personally know of like First Stitch Effort coming out and then like everything after that. So like that's pretty late in their career. That's 2016.
I mean, because there's songs here and there that you know and like, but honestly, like,
Yeah, like I listened to a lot of their old stuff, of course.
mm, for me, the only album that like I ever knew every song on is Punk and Drublic. I do think that's their
That's a good
best
one.
album. Like, uh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they played when we saw them.
yeah, they
Somewhere.
didn't play the whole thing because they're just kind of like that. they can they can be assholes for sure. Yeah, Fat Mike was like, we said we'd play it, but we're not going to, and then they played like maybe half of it, and then played some other
What?
shit. Um, but yeah, that's a good album. And then they definitely like their quote unquote hits are usually pretty good.
Hmm.
Catchy songs, usually.
Yeah, I mean you got like Linoleum and like Separate Your Church and Skate. I mean those are like punk classics.
Yeah,
Behemoths.
absolutely. And rightfully so. They have some great songs. To me, um, I guess because like we're still not even halfway through this, we're gonna have to play some of these faster than others.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
just gonna
No
have to stop
Effects.
explaining
I think
ourselves.
No Effects goes with Bad Religion and Descendants. It's an A tier.
I I could agree with that. I feel like I would say A, and I feel like there could be arguments made for S. There could be
Absolutely.
like they were like I know it's mainly Fat Mike, but I mean going on to make like your own record company, which would go on to like spawn other punk bands. Like I feel that's something to like take note of.
Fat Mike is like probably the most passionate person about punk in the whole world. So there's that.
Hmm. Yeah, like I know you don't listen to them. I know we literally said we shouldn't go tangents, but like the Bomb Pops, I listen to them occasionally, and like they started under Fat Records, looking up the No Effects and like Bad Religion and stuff like that. Like that is their main inspirations, and it's kind of like you wouldn't have bands like that without Fat
They
Records.
like lost one of their members because she wanted to like focus on her family, I guess, and the band was like not having it. I don't. It was kind of weird.
Mm.
Because I do follow
Mm.
the band members, and yeah, she was just like recently throwing shade at the band on her stories about how like they like I don't think they like kicked her out. I think she left, but she left because they were being assholes about her having a family or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, there's another something like I said, me following all these bands, but then I don't see anything about them.
Yeah, I just
But
they just
hey,
pop up in my feed, and I'm like, oh shit. I guess it wasn't
hmm.
an amicable ending to the band.
Hmm.
All right.
Interest. Mezingers.
Menzingers, yes, a new band, a new band comparatively to like everyone we've talked about.
Yes. And I probably know a lot less. I know a lot
Yeah,
less
this
than
is
you,
one
that's
of
for
the
sure.
ones that I put on here knowing that I am much more familiar with than you are.
Yes, we saw them live, and it was a great show.
They're great live. Well,
Yes.
I don't know. Weirdly enough, I have to admit that Greg doesn't sound that great live all the time, but when you're there in person and you're like singing along and you're in the crowd, it sounds great. Um, the
Absolutely.
energy is good. Um, they've got one of my favorite, more recent punk albums, I guess, which is now 12 years old. On the Impossible Past, I think that's a great, like, more modern punk album. And then they've got what is the one right after that? Rented World. A lot of songs in there I love too. People see it as kind of a lull, which is weird for me. I think it's great. And then they have After the Party, which
Hmm.
everyone thinks is like their other amazing best album. And I kind of disagree. Like I felt that at first, but that sound kind of grew old to me sort of quickly. The song After the Party is fucking phenomenal, but a lot of the other songs on there
Hmm.
kind of waned in how much I enjoy them pretty quickly. And ever since that album, they've kind of been doing more of the same with that sound. Their most recent album sounds pretty good, but
Hmm.
ultimately, this is one of those bands where I really love one album and then I like a handful of songs from a couple other albums, and I don't know. I listened to them nonstop in like 2018 and 19. I was like obsessed, but
Yeah, you sent me a few songs when I was heartbroken.
yeah, no, they've got some great shit.
Yeah.
Like I Know Where Your Heartache Exists, and
Good Things is still a
Good
standout to me.
Things is amazing, especially
But,
live. Screaming that shit live, like nothing is as
yeah.
cathartic as screaming. Like I've been having a
Yeah.
horrible time
Yeah.
and jumping around.
I remember I remember playing that so much. Yeah, when I got my heart broken. To the point where like Spotify was like, "This is one of your most listened to songs." Like, thanks.
They're kind of like that. Yeah, they definitely became a band I listened to so fucking much when I found them.
Mhm. I need to listen to them more.
I would say
I
you
really do.
definitely should. I still love a lot of their music, a lot. For me, it was kind of like finding the Gaslight Anthem again because they're the most similar
Hmm.
band I found in sound to the Gaslight Anthem. Uh,
Hmm.
which they're not like exactly the same thing, but they give off a lot of the same vibes in like
Hmm.
sonically and lyrically. Like there's a lot of shit about like nostalgia and sadness and shit like so but I guess like the direction they're going cuz they're still a newer band hasn't been as impressive to me, and I don't feel the need to go like see them live every time they're in town or anything lately. Um, I definitely think that yes, you should check out their catalog if you like what you've heard, and especially that song that album that Good Things is on is like easily my favorite from them.
Yeah, like I think I've listened to that like a couple songs in that album, but I couldn't tell you which
Great
ones.
stuff. The Obituaries, Gates, Casey. There's a bunch of great songs on there. Um,
Hmm.
I want to go B tier. Um, and there's probably
Yeah.
a time I would have
Uh,
said A or S because of recency bias, honestly. But I think overall, I'm gonna go B. And
Yeah, I was gonna say probably A or B, but I was gonna definitely let you take the majority of the answer there
yeah, that one's one
because
where
you're more
I'm just
familiar.
more familiar on that one. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, we need
Let's
to
let's
hustle.
blast through some.
Oh
These are some.
fuck
No, these are
yeah.
some we can blast through. I think because we got
Mm-hmm.
no use for a name up next,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
That's all
perfectly
right.
fine putting that in S tier
Okay. I agree.
because I mean, yeah, we don't need a long extended explanation, but goddamn, if like what I was saying at,
Go watch
huh?
go watch our favorite bands
Oh,
video.
you're right. I probably
Or
definitely talked about them in there.
I'm pretty sure that's also within both of our top fives.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah,
Go watch that one.
it's like what I said about AFI at the start, where I was like, "Oh, their punk music is like choice for me. It's like ideal. That's what I want when I want punk music."
Mm-hmm.
And that's like early AFI.
Mm-hmm.
But like
But
No Use
Tony,
for a
yeah,
Name's whole
Tony.
career pretty
Mm-hmm.
much scratches that itch for me. Like,
Yes. Good punk and Tony Slide just be hitting different.
yeah, no, and I love the later stuff that people apparently didn't like as much. I think it's some of the best, honestly. Keep them confused and
Mm-hmm.
feel good record of the year. I'm probably saying the same shit that I said back when we talked about them. So yeah, we can move
Probably.
on, but
Go ahead.
yeah, S tier skate punk that has like a melancholy edge to it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we
Mm-hmm.
got the
I love it.
Offspring. Here comes my hot take. The Offspring kind of
Mm-hmm.
sucks. That's just how I feel after all these years. Um,
I went into a tiny phase a couple months ago where I was listening to them. Very like a lot of their older stuff,
that's the better stuff.
but I still wouldn't go higher than a B and being generous. I would not go higher than a B, no matter
Being
what.
generous. Here's the thing. Um,
A lot of their music is so hit or miss,
yeah.
and a lot of it I skip.
Once
So
you get to Americana, you reach a problem because some of the songs on that album are pretty good, and some of them introduce the problem. Like pretty fly for a white guy, and why don't you get a job? Probably introduced the problem because they started making all these fucking stupid ass songs and all these
hmm
like
hmm
gimmicky songs from there forward, and man, and then like okay,
very radio
yeah.
songs.
So Americana's like a very mixed bag because I think there's a couple decent songs on there, like "Have You Ever" and fucking. I guess like I don't have a problem with like "The Kids Aren't All Right." That was pretty good as
hmm
far as their hits go. Then when you go before that, it's actually mostly like good punk or decent punk, like Ixnay on the Hombre
hmm
uh, is some pretty good punk, I would say, and Smash and the stuff before that. But fucking goddamn it, like I don't. The Offspring just has left a bad taste in my mouth. I honestly, even as a kid, I feel like I tried to like them a lot more than I ever did like them.
hmm
And
they have a few good songs, but just the majority is just kind of it's there.
I definitely think
Yeah.
like I would say C or D. You say you can't go higher than B, so
Yeah, that's what I said. Being generous, I would never go higher than a B, but I'd be okay with a D.
you'd be okay with a D. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. That's what being generous. I could not go
I
higher
was gonna
than a
say
B.
if you've
But
got kind of a soft spot for him, we could go C. But if you're okay with D, like that was where
yes.
like my heart wanted to put them right away.
hmm
Yeah, and it's so hard to see that black logo for them
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we've definitely got some bands we can go right through here.
hmm
We've got Rancid next.
hmm hmm you see, I know them.
You don't know them that well.
Yeah, I don't know them that
I
well,
don't
and
know them that
I
well either.
if I was if I was to listen to them, I'd be like, yeah, I know the song. But don't ask me the name of their albums. Don't ask me the name of the songs. And just play them, and maybe I'll vibe.
I think Rancid has some decent shit. From what I've
They're kind of
heard,
a fraud.
again, I've heard what's supposed to be their best stuff. And Out Come the Wolves, that album is
Mm,
like a punk classic and all this shit.
Ruby Soho.
Yeah, Roots Radicals, Maxwell Murder, Time Bomb. But I gotta say, with everything I have heard from Rancid over the years, and then there's like Fall Back Down, that album Indestructible,
Mm-hmm.
Red Hot
Fall
Moon,
back
and
down. Ruby. Yeah. Time Bomb, Ruby Soho, Fall Back Down. Yeah, they're top three hits on Spotify. Yeah, those are.
I think Rancid doesn't actually sound that good. like overall, I do get down with some of it, but I think they're one
Mhm.
of the more overrated punk bands because they are very highly held in this very high regard, and I think they're kind of overrated. That's my take.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't have enough information to agree.
Fair enough.
I'm apparently not even following them on Spotify. So
All right, I want to
so
put them in C.
I I was gonna say yeah. That's actually what I was gonna say, but I was only gonna say that because it's mid.
Yeah,
It's in the middle.
I'm down. And also, there's kind of the Less Than Jake thing with Rancid as well. I don't know if we
Hmm.
talked about that, but
I don't think we
it's
got to
just
talk about
always been public that Tim Armstrong, the fucking the girl that he was with, Brody, I think, who's in the Distillers. They
it.
got together. She was underage when they got together, and he was in his later 20s, and then they ended up
Hmm.
getting married. I think it's pretty well known that there was a grooming question mark situation going on there, and a lot of people
Hmm.
uh, seem to talk about it now compared to the old times.
Hmm. Interesting.
I just don't want to elaborate too much because I don't have all the details on hand. But I'm just
Yes.
saying, if
Yes.
you're curious, look into that. Again, my placement of
Hmm.
Rancid is just on their music. I just don't actually think they're that great.
Hmm.
So there's that. All right, yeah, we got another new one compared to everyone else on this list. Yes, Pup. PUP, Pup. They are one of my favorite new punk bands. Oh, my cat's screaming.
Yeah, I could kind of hear them for a second. Like
Yeah, Stormy.
so they're that loud.
Oh, you never heard him scream while you were here?
I mean, while I was there, but while I was there, but over the mic, I heard them for a second. Like the mic picked them up.
I wish I just put my mic up to him when he screamed. He's so loud. Louder than a cat should be. Okay. Okay, Pup.
Um, so
This is another Menzingers for you, right? You just never did the deep dive.
I've listened to three of their albums, maybe four, and and I would say probably A.
They're very good. I mean,
Their highs are really high, and um, I'm a very to me is a very unspoken rule slash spoken rule that if I listen to The Dream Is Over or it's like just or The Taurus Doesn't Kill You, I will. I have to listen to DVP.
of course. You
You
can.
cannot listen to one. You cannot listen to one without
Yeah,
the
you
other.
can't.
So if I get so if I get them in a random playlist, I'm like, no,
No,
I need the other. I need the other
their
one.
highs are insane. Cause yeah, Sleep in the
Exactly.
Heat, such a good song.
Hmm.
Such a good song. Their first album is insanely good too. Goddamn.
Yep. Yep. Pop. Yep. Pop. They only have four albums.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So I was like, oh, I'm listening for their albums. Apparently, I know
Yeah,
them.
all of them. The
Yeah,
first album, fucking. I mean, I think
yeah.
almost every song in that first album is great.
Yeah, Pup and Dream is over. Just yeah, really good.
Never Try is super underrated by the band themselves because they've been asked to play it and they're always like, that song fucking sucks. It's such a good song. um, yeah.
Part of me thinks it's hilarious. Part of me thinks it's hilarious when bands hate a song they made.
Dark
It's like, dog, you
Days.
made it. Like, it's like, bro, you made
Dark
it.
Days, like the first time I heard that just sounded like a classic. No thoughts on that one?
Uh, the band
The
or the
song,
song?
Dark Days.
Uh, uh, uh,
Oh, you're gonna have to hit
uh,
play on it to you know the song.
I have it on a
This
playlist.
winter hasn't been so rough.
That one, yes.
Yeah, that sounds a fucking immediate classic. Then there's a fucking what is it? What's that song called? Yukon Valley. That one's so good. It's just
That
called
one's a good one.
Yukon. But yeah, and Pine Point. Yeah, those first two albums really do stand out. But all of them are honestly great. Fucking Scorpion Hill from Morbid Stuff is one of my favorites as well. And then on their newest album, Robot Rights to Love song is one of my favorite pop songs as well. So like they're fucking on a hot streak. They're just putting out great music. I have no argument with them being an A tier. I think they're one of the better modern like punk bands. So there you go.
They do be pretty good for how recent they are.
Yes. Uh, and they're not afraid to grow and change their sound, which is nice because I guess punk is finally getting over that. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Flogging Molly.
uh,
B. I'm not gonna
what
fight
do you
it.
think?
I think what they do very well.
Yeah, I think they fit their niche pretty well. You know, Celtic punk. I think they did very good.
I think they're better
But
than Dropkick Murphys. I didn't put Dropkick Murphys on here.
yeah, I like a few others. Yeah, I know Tangent. I like a few Dropkick Murphys. But yeah, I feel like I like more of like I feel like Foggy Molly hits more what they're trying to do better.
Flogging Molly
So
sounds fucking Irish as shit. Like Dropkick Murphys sounds
yeah,
like they're trying to sound Irish, and then Flogging Molly, like you hear fucking Dave's voice, and it's just like he's a leprechaun. Is that racist?
you're like
No,
you're just like you're just like what? What did you just
I
say?
don't. I don't mean it in any sort of way. I'm just. He sounds very Irish.
Yeah, yeah, Dropkick Murphys just sounds like a bunch of drunkards.
Yeah, it's
Which it
more.
might be which might be the point, but
I think there's a lot more to it with Flogging Molly, with the lyrics, at least in my opinion, from what I've
yeah,
heard. Like their
yeah,
song "Drunken
feel
Lullaby" sounds like just a drinking song, but like all the lyrics are like actually really like kind of more political and about just wanting
yeah,
peace. And,
they're definitely a band where their tune does not equal the lyrics they're going for.
yeah, but goddamn, if they don't do what they do really well, and if I'm in the mood for it,
Yeah,
that's the band I want. Like if I want to hear a
exactly,
Celtic punk. So yeah, B is a
exactly.
good spot for them, I say. All right, buddy. We got a controversial one here. We got Real Big Fish. I'm gonna let you speak first because you had a big Real Big Fish phase.
D.
E?
D.
Oh, D. Okay. Now I'm with you.
I
It,
don't I don't hate
if
them.
anything,
Some
they
of their
would be
good stuff.
lower, but yeah, D is good.
I feel like yeah, some of their good stuff still just really good. Um, but just a lot of it I just don't care for anymore.
No, I mean I almost never really did. Like when we first went and saw them, I was kind of like not that excited. I was just like, I mean, I know a few songs. Like I knew "Sellout" because it was on a game I played when I was young, and then like I knew a couple other songs, and like "Beer" is a pretty good song. I still like that one. And like "Where Have You Been?" But like honestly, those are like the two good
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. Wherever you been is like the only one that like I would still listen to it today.
I like that and beer. Um, but goddamn, like
Beer is kind of a classic.
yeah, and I guess sellout's fine too. But it's just like goddamn, all the
Hmm.
songs that are like supposed to be funny,
Yeah,
man. Like,
which is ironic because we still like quote Real Big Fish, at least their live album, like their banter in between songs.
yeah, yeah. You know
Like we
what?
still like we still
Just because their music is something I never want to sit down and listen to doesn't mean like that seeing them live is a bad thing. Like I've
yeah they
enjoyed
weren't
seeing them live.
yeah even when we saw them at Warped Tour like just in the middle of a song when they just started playing Offspring, it just was unexpected and it was like everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed. Everyone clapped. No, yeah.
And then everyone went home. Yeah, but eventually, but no, but it was funny. Like they're a good show. It's just
Which is exactly why we saw them because I did introduce you to them. I honestly think it just came out of how bored being in Lake Placid was for me. Like I was like, there's this band that I know that's coming to Burlington,
Mhm.
and like, goddamn, when there's so much nothing to do, it's like, yeah, fuck it, we'll go see a band that we know a couple songs by.
Yeah, and I still feel like I attribute my fish era, my big fish era,
Yeah,
um, because I was a dishwasher and like
everybody's doing the
it
dish.
was it was it was upbeat, it was fast paced, or fast paced, quote
Yeah.
unquote. It was just kind of I don't know. I was still using Pandora at that point,
Okay.
so it was just kind of it wasn't the worst thing I could be listening to.
I don't think there's a problem with being into Real Big Fish. I just personally,
Yeah,
and you
you're
could
right.
always tell that like even back then that was one of the ones that I didn't hide that much. That I was like, yeah, they're cool. But I don't actually want to like listen to them.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
They ate. They ate at best.
We got
Just kind of grew out.
yeah. Eh, D tier. So we got Rise Against, and I'll let you take the reins on this because we got another tattoo band.
Yes, that is one I have tattooed on my
Yes.
body. And well, I mean, besides me just liking the logo, that's why I got tattooed. I think they're another AFI. I think the early stuff is really good. I'd say even really like hard punk. At least kind of some songs, some right.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about like I don't know what you've heard, like The Unraveling is pretty
I
heavy.
think that's one thing. There's one like that. Something like that. Hold on.
I,
It's the old
I'm
Spotify.
guessing we're gonna have a similar idea of Rise Against.
Yeah, I think it's stated. I think State of the Union starts pretty
Oh
heavy.
yeah, no, that's a great album.
Yeah,
Also, I love that album,
but
which is Siren Song of the Counterculture.
mhm. um, yeah, I think they just have good punk. I think they have their own sound. I don't think they've experimented
Again,
enough.
a lot of it. Yeah, no,
But
I agree. But a lot of that again is like attributed to Tim's voice, which is like AFI.
he's very good, but and recognizable voice. Yes,
No, I am
and
100% with you.
and I love like I don't want to say I love it when he screams, but like I don't like screaming music, but I can handle slash like when he screams because like I don't know, just kind of it feels raw. Like I don't know if you get what I'm kind of
Yeah, it's
getting
like
at.
he uses his voice. It's not like a like voiceless scream of just like, like
Yeah, like he's screaming about something
There's that too. I
because Rodriguez does have like a lot of
I
message.
felt like you were gonna get to the point of that their later stuff just isn't as good.
I would say, yeah, I don't remember anything after Black Market. I don't even remember Black
Yeah,
Market.
no,
I
exactly.
bought, I, I bought a hoodie for Wolves because I wore that the other day. But yeah, other than that, like, I s- I only know Endgame prior. Like all of those albums, yeah, are pretty good.
For me, their
I
truly
remember
like
listening.
golden era was Revolutions Per Minute and
Mhm,
Siren Song of the Counterculture. And
mhm,
then they're a band where there's like a few songs from each album up until Black Market, where from then on I don't even like I tried the albums. I thought they sounded very
mhm.
generic, honestly, and I just wasn't about it and didn't
Yeah,
really look back. I like from the Black Market. I like "People Live Here," which is their token acoustic song on that album.
yeah.
They're
I
really
don't want to
known for
be here.
doing that.
I don't want to be here anymore. I quote that
Yeah,
still. I don't want to be here anymore. Usually in a video game, like something bad's happening.
yeah, that one's not bad either. But I mean, it's honestly like kind of a typical Rise Against hit sounding song.
Yeah, they have a sound. It's just like Billy Talent. They have a sound.
But I don't. I feel like
It's not a bad
I
sound.
feel like Rise Against is one of the biggest offenders of every song sounding the same. Unfortunately,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's not bad. I don't think there's any song I would say is bad. I mean, at least anything before Black Market. I don't remember anything after Black Market
right?
except for those two songs we said. But it's just you hear the song and you're like, that is Rise
Yep.
Against.
And it's nothing that special, unfortunately. But yeah, Siren Song is a great album. Fucking, I'm gonna point out some great hits. Not hits, but like great songs from them, like Blood to Bleed. Um, fucking, Anywhere But Here, Dancing for Rain. Uh,
Mm-hmm,
Rumors
mm-hmm.
of My Demise have been greatly exaggerated. Fucking,
I don't get how you do that
and then
shit.
on Revolutions Per Minute, yeah, Heaven Knows. What's up?
So I don't know how you do this
Oh,
shit. You're just naming off this shit.
oh yeah, I've always been very name oriented. Um,
I could not.
except it's funny with my own music, I almost never have a song title until it's absolutely necessary. But um, yeah, Revolutions Per Minute. You got Heaven Knows, Like the Angel,
Mm-hmm.
fucking Last Chance Blueprint's a good one. Uh, the opening track, Black Mass and Gasoline, super good,
Mm-hmm.
super
Mm-hmm.
catchy. Like that's peak Rise Against. I I mean I'll ask I guess what you want to do with Rise Against. I think I know where I would go.
I would say
Yeah,
B.
that's where I would go. That's what,
I feel like I feel they don't do anything amazing, but I feel like they're really, really solid for what they do.
yeah,
Even with a few misses, like recent albums where like me, like I said, me and you both just kind of like they exist. We don't remember them, but just those early albums, like they're just solid albums all the way through, like at least that I remember all the way
yeah.
through.
There's also some great songs on Suffer and The Witness, which we didn't talk about at all. And Appeal to Reason is it's definitely got some good songs, but it's definitely where the problem started. You can usually pinpoint where the problem started, and it's Appeal to Reason for Rise Against. Because like after Savior, every song sounded like that album.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, Savior is definitely like the Rise Against.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Like that's Rise Against.
unfortunately, yeah. Because I mean, it's not like it's a terrible song, but I just really like that earlier sound of them a lot better.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We're actually nearing the end. This is nice. And
Slowly
we
but
got some
surely.
bands that we won't have as much to say about, but there's still some that we are going to have discussions for.
Oh,
So,
We should though. We should not talk before we start recording.
Yeah, we blew it a little bit.
Um,
Okay. We're at some 41.
I have a slight hot take.
Not your favorite band.
Oh yeah, they're not my favorite
Well,
band,
obviously,
but
but what, I thought you were
um,
gonna throw them down or something. What's your hot take?
I mean, like it might be a hot take. I don't know
Is it the
actually.
opposite? You think they're great?
Um, I'm just assuming it's a hot take. I'll be
All
honest,
right.
but um, I've actually enjoyed their last couple albums.
Oh, okay.
Like I know they're heavier. Like I think it was. Yeah, I think it's 13 Voices. Or it's one of those like 13 Voices or Order and Decline, where the one where the lead singer was like dealing with like rehab and suicide and all that. So like it's like really hard and like depressing. But like those last four albums, like I don't know, like maybe it's I think they just do like the heavier stuff pretty good. But like I obviously like a lot of their older stuff, like Does It Look Infected? I'll Kill in a Filler, stuff like
I
that.
think
Gotcha.
so. I
Over.
wouldn't say I've honestly given the newer stuff a fair shake, but I know what it sounds like, and it's just not my thing.
Yeah. But it's like considering they're known for being a pop punk band,
Yeah.
I like I like their
I
heavy
think
sound,
people
I
do
guess.
like it. Like the fans of the band really do like their newer stuff.
Okay. That's what I
But
know. That's what I said that, but I wasn't actually sure if it was a hot
but
take.
they've totally faded into obscurity as far as like being a commercially
Hmm.
successful band. Because of
Hmm.
that switch, I think. I don't know. Like
Yeah. Because I feel like whenever someone mentions Sum 41, you think of the old pop punk era.
yeah.
Like they're just teen delinquent punk, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of. Like, In Too Deep, for example. Maybe it's because of the music video, though.
Yeah.
Or like, or Fat Lip. Like maybe that's the music videos influencing my
No, I
opinion.
think that's
But
definitely
yeah.
what people think of. And for me, like as I've grown up, I don't like that album that much. I think this
Which one?
All Killer.
Okay.
I don't like it as much. There's
Mm.
like a song or two I like on it. I think
Yeah, it's definitely very old. I
I
mean,
think like
the In
Handle
Too
This
Deep
is pretty good.
motivation.
I always liked Handle This.
Hmm.
But then like yeah, All Killer. No, sorry. The Does This Look Infected is much better in my opinion, and I think it holds up better.
Hmm.
It's a bit heavier. Um,
Yeah.
it's a bit less bratty. Um, it's like surprisingly sincere sounding for like what it is, and then you get Chuck, which is even heavier and honestly like pretty good. It's not that bad of an album.
Yeah.
um,
I feel like they do heavy punk, like if you want to call it that. I feel like they just do it really well, surprisingly, for considering where they started.
I'm not like gonna be like I'm not like a huge Sum 41 defender or anything.
I
They're
mean, me
not a
neither. I
band
mean,
that
obviously.
I have listened to or like thought about listening to in a long time. I definitely did
Hmm.
enjoy them when I was younger. Uh, I guess I did see them live 5 years ago in a pool. That was cool.
They always saw my rock fest,
There's that too. I'm not
which
a
I guess
hater, but like honestly, I wouldn't jump to be like, oh, they're great. Uh,
hmm.
Even though I can admit there's like some really good moments in their catalog. Um, fuck. My what do you my I'm inclined to put them in C tier just looking at our list. I feel like you were maybe thinking B. Am I right?
Yeah, I could go B or C. Yeah.
The thing is when I look at who we put in B, I just like I don't know if some 41 is on the level of
Yeah.
especially some of the ones we
Yeah.
put in B earlier on Against Me, Bouncing Souls, Lagwagon.
Mm,
Like, are Sum
yeah.
41 up there with them? I don't know.
Yeah. Like if I'm in like the mood for yeah, like yeah. But no.
So we're
Yeah. Okay, yeah, C
let's
makes
go
sense,
C
yeah.
tier.
High C tier,
All right,
yeah.
there we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I haven't been ordering
they're
anything. I've just been putting them in the
yeah.
list. All right, we're down to the bottom five, and it
Mhm.
shouldn't. I mean, unfortunately, there are a few here that might have us talking, but there's some that won't have us
Yeah.
talking as much.
Unwritten Law, I would say
Me
B.
too.
Fun live show. I think oddly that was one of my favorite live shows. Oddly,
Ever?
that yeah, that we saw them in San Diego. I don't know, just good vibes. I mean,
Yeah,
just chilling, eat
I
pizza,
agree.
and then just just the show that they quote show that they performed, like his family coming out to play with him and like friends and just like yeah, it was a good show.
Good
Just I
set
don't know,
list.
but
The Black Album. This one is very good.
mhm.
Elva's got some good stuff and some weird butt rocky stuff. They kind of have a weird kind of catalog where they're definitely like more of a hits band for me. Weirdly, like
Yeah, yeah, they
other than the
definitely.
Black Album, like it's very hit or miss. And like there's some albums that just really aren't that great.
Yeah. So yeah, they're definitely a hits band, but like their hits are just good.
They're very good nostalgia band. Go see them live. Yeah. And I was immediately thinking B as well. Um,
It's kind of same thing as Rise Against. They're solid, I think.
yeah, I think I do think the Black Album's really good. It's got California Sky, Teenage Suicide, fucking
Hmm,
Before I
hmm.
Go is one of my favorites. Always has been.
Yes.
um, it's got some very good quality stuff, and then Elva has some really good quality stuff. It's just mixed with some stuff that's not as good.
Yes.
Like it's got Seeing Red, of course, but there's like Rest
Hmm.
of My Life and fucking the title track Elva. I've always loved that one for some reason. It's a very simple song, but it's
Hmm.
got like such great atmosphere. All right, yeah. We'll move on. Keep that one short.
Blink 182.
All right. No, I'm just kidding. I did a visual
Honestly,
gag for everyone who's not watching.
without saying a word, he dragged it to F tier.
Yeah, that was the gag.
Um, you
We
see,
have a backstory with Blink 182.
uh, do it.
Yeah, they were our favorite band when we were 12.
Yeah, yeah, we're 12. That's not really out of the ordinary.
No, it's not. They were everyone's favorite band when they were 12.
But yeah, even then, you see, I would still say E or F, honestly.
They're they're not that great of a band.
No.
They get so much defense from people. I find it astounding because people shit
Hmm.
on Green Day a lot. People like love to hate on Green Day, but love to say Blink is like a great band still. And I've never understood it.
And yeah, and it may be personal feelings, but I always hated how people hated the Skiba era, and I was like, bro, you don't know what you got.
You got to go see I mean, to be fair, those albums were pretty trash, but it's not Skiba's fault.
It was it was the potential of what they
Yeah.
had. They squandered it
I mean, the band totally squandered it, but also like people who were just hating on Matt Skiba,
because he wasn't dumb. Okay, well, yeah, we're getting
a guy
personal
who fucking was terrible live
now. Hmm.
up until they replaced him. And I guess he sounds a little better now, but like it still doesn't sound good. He's always kind of sounded like a dying whale. So
I feel like no one talked about how his voice just changed when he was like in his 30s.
yeah, it was definitely like something he chose to do. Uh, and it's clear because now he's like singing like he used to again. He was just being an asshole. He just wanted to sing like that. Like that's not just something that happens to you.
Yeah, like maybe he like yeah, it's like I don't know.
Like that's actually what he sounded like.
Maybe he sounded like that at first when they were like what in their like 20s. Maybe,
teens when they started. Yeah,
maybe when they were like practicing in their garage or some
but
shit.
he chose to do that shit. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Okay, so the little defense I have of Blink is that the I think Dude Ranch is kind of a solid album, and I like Adam's song. I still do. Uh,
yeah, that's a good one.
I think there's a few good songs on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and the self-titled album is probably their most solid album. But like, goddamn, like I don't know. Yeah, there is some personal feelings into it because like they're just so overrated for what they've done. You know.
Mm-hmm. Because the problem is, yeah, I don't have a defense. It's kind of
I think Dude Ranch is like their most solid punk album, and then or the Untitled or whatever is their most
I just
solid just album. But like, goddamn, it's still
I,
just like it pales in comparison when you put it against like better bands doing the same style.
yeah, I just haven't even listened. I can't even give them like the AFI or like Rise Against treatment because like I haven't listened to even their old stuff since in high school. It's just I'm not into that kind of like my music taste has just changed so drastically since even high school.
We were pretty much out once we were out for good. Um
Yeah.
One thing I just never recovered when Tom left and like it seemed like he was an asshole. I just never really liked hearing his voice since then. Like if Tom is singing on a song,
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I think if I was to pinpoint it, I think Dogs Eating Dogs, I think may have been, I think that's the name of the title. I think may have been the final straw for me, as in the sense that like that album came out and I heard it and I was like, this is
Dude,
garbage. And I just never like,
we were
because I remember neighbor.
I was
Sorry.
sorry, I was saying we were, yeah, you were I was about to talk about Neighborhoods too. We were the biggest Blink fans. And then once I heard Neighborhoods, I didn't like it. And I remember
Yeah,
you
like it.
did and I didn't.
I think I
You liked
liked.
Up All Night.
I yeah, I think I liked that. I think I liked that only that if I remember right. It's been so
I
long. I don't
remember
know.
not liking
But
it.
even that, yeah, the album as a whole was if I remember. But yeah, then I heard Dogs Eat Dogs a couple years later, and I was like,
Yeah, that was
"The
shit.
fuck is this?"
I remember
Yeah.
liking or I remember not liking Up All Night and then we got on Rock Band and then I liked it. Because we were like playing on Rock Band and I was singing it and learning it and I was just like, okay, sure.
Rock Band does
Oh,
stuff
and
good.
then yeah, Heart's All Gone, which I only listened to because you told me that one was good
I don't
a
remember.
long time ago. All right, we didn't actually place them.
I said the E or F, like
I think
unironically.
to be fair, I would go D, but I mean, if we just want to be petty ass bitches, I'm down to go E.
Like I said, I have nothing good to say personally.
All right, we'll go E. All right, buddy. We've got we've got
We
one
should have done. We
we've
should have.
got the one that didn't spark this, but weirdly like you brought up today.
Yeah,
And I
because
was
that
like,
was.
well, we're going to talk about that later.
I don't remember what I was doing. I was in the office at work listening to music, and it came up somehow, and I was like, Frank. Yeah, Frank Turner has mid music, good music in a couple of
We're
years.
talking about Frank Turner, everybody.
Yeah, Frank Turner in the Sleeping Souls.
And the Sleeping Souls. Yes. And I like yeah, I immediately agree. I don't I kind of it's weird. I felt this way since we discovered him. When he came out with positive songs for negative people, and I know that's like one of his most successful albums, and you liked it quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit. I was immediately
Yeah,
like not as taken with it as
yeah. I mean, like I liked it, but Tape Deck is
it's his
definitely
best album. Yeah,
better.
I think that's his best album. And
Love Iron song.
And I was gonna say, England Keep My Bones is phenomenal too. Like
Yeah, that one too. Yeah,
England,
those three.
yes, yes, but for me, I like something about his full band stuff with England Keep
Mm-hmm.
My Bones and Tape Deck Heart are like his stride, like his peak. I love
Mm-hmm.
that shit. Sorry, you were
Huh?
gonna say something?
I mean, I had a thought. I was gonna say I don't remember this coming out 2 years ago, but I have been enjoying a few songs on FTHC. I don't know if that means anything personally, but
It's just
yeah, I didn't realize that.
his logo.
Oh,
It's always been that because it's like a play on the
yeah.
NYHC, like New York hardcore. It's Frank Turner
Hmm.
hardcore. It's kind of a joke because
Yeah.
he's like folky,
Yeah.
or he
Yeah.
was.
But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember this coming out 2 years ago to the day. Like it came out February 10th, 2022. But
Damn,
yeah, I've been enjoying a few songs on that recently. But then the couple singles he's just put out, I have not been enjoying.
dude.
So then, yeah, it's pretty much it's just pretty much anything. I mean, I enjoyed some of the acoustics on Songbook, but that's just songs that already
Yeah,
existed.
some of
And
the different
like,
versions. He,
yeah, I like two songs and Be More Kind. That's just kind of West Coast. I feel West Coast versus V6. Yeah, the West
yeah,
Six
we
V6.
six.
The No Effects collab. I kind of just kind of didn't vibe with it.
No
It didn't
effects
strike
did
me. Like,
better on it, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I mean, I think this is the nature that like Frank does have punk roots. So a punk band covering him may I don't know, just it worked, but no effects going soft. I think I don't. That's been so long since I listened to it. It just kind of didn't translate. I think as
I was
well
excited
for
for that
Frank.
project, and it was a bit of a letdown. I think.
Hmm.
Um, I
But yeah, I guess yeah. The main point is since we knew him because of Rock Band. At least I did because of Rock Band. And then you fully introduced him to me with positive songs, so we could see him
yeah,
live. And just ever since then, he just hasn't put out good
because when
music.
I was trying to get you into that album was when it was brand new, and I also was just hearing it for the first time, and I never liked it as much as that other stuff before it. I never like The Next Storm was I think one of the first songs that came out for it, and I always just thought it was
Hmm.
okay. And then I always thought Get Better was just okay too. I know like you love that one or you did, and I know like it's
I did.
become one of his like staple songs. And I do like it a bit more than I initially did, but like I always was just kind of like,
It gives me the vibes. That's just like, well, it's a positive
yeah,
song for negative people, and it's just a good song. I think to scream out to live. I think it's one of those songs.
yeah. No, it's a fun live song. And I definitely have like some Frank hot takes as well because my favorite, I think, I might be forgetting a song or two, but like definitely one of my favorites from that album was Mittens. And a lot of
Hmm.
people in his community hate that song, apparently.
I like
I like it, but everyone's just like, everyone rips on the main line of like, fitting like mittens but not gloves. Everyone's like, what a stupid line. I'm like, okay. I think it's fine. It's whatever. Calm down.
yeah,
It's not the
exactly.
best
I
line
think so.
ever, but like, goddamn, like, his lyrics haven't really been his strong suit since around that point. The
Hmm.
like, goddamn, yeah. When you listen to some of his old lyrics, and then like the first single on this upcoming album, it's like, I don't want to be in any gang that you're in. I refuse to take part of gatekeeping people's art.
Yeah, he's a weird phenomenon
Yeah.
where I saw that he like whenever he puts out music, part of me wants to be excited because I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do this, man. But then I get disappointed every time.
Yeah.
Like I have not been impressed by these last two singles, and Spotify keeps putting them in my my randomized playlist, and I can't do it.
I
I don't
I
like them.
saw like that song I was just saying. I think it's called "No Thank You for the Music."
Hmm.
Man, I just think
Yeah, no, thank you for the
it's
music. Yeah.
it's just not like nearly as clever as he was like 15 years ago. And like you know it's like trying to be, but like it does end up not really, it ends up doing the opposite of what it's supposed to. It does sound like boomerish.
Hmm. He's not even doing
Yeah, I mean it's just like kind of complaining about modern music.
which is valid. It's just kind of like I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't think it's done in a particularly like in a way that it needed to be done. Yeah, I don't think it adds much to the conversation.
Hmm.
To be fair, I mean, I guess that's how I would put it. Um, but yeah, no, I'm right there with you because we both got excited about Frank Turner together, and he kind of became our guy. Like we went and saw him like a few times together.
Like I think together we're at like 5 or 6.
Yeah, we were. He was like our fucking boy for a little bit there.
Like I still love the guy. We've met him. I have a signed poster,
Yeah,
but it's just like it's just like I don't know music. Just anything after positive songs. It just kind of just hasn't hit.
yeah. There's a few or a couple few songs on "Be More Kind" that I like. "No Man's Land" was pretty much just all around a failure. Like even critics didn't like it. Everyone was just kind of like,
That's
"This
just
is
that's just
weird that a dude made a bunch of songs about women and women's history and what it's like to be women." So people thought like he just shouldn't have even made it. And you can have whatever opinion you have about that. I personally think it's
mhm.
fine if he wanted to do a project like that, but like I don't think it came out
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I think it makes perfect sense to do a song. Like I don't know, it's fine to do something like honor women. Like, especially because I think it like came out during like Women's History Month or whatever one of those holidays. I don't keep track of them, but like if I remember like no women actually like appear on the album or something like that, maybe
I
maybe
think
two. I've listened to it once. I'll be honest.
I think there were like, I mean he was definitely still like the focus of it, and it was like
Yeah.
mostly his vocals. He might have had like a guest appearance on one or two of them, but and like there were some women playing some of the instruments on it, but like yeah, ultimately it was like centered
When you're
on
playing an
him
instrument, you are
telling
not.
women's
Yeah.
stories, and that's whatever. I personally just didn't think the songs were that great, and then yeah, I thought a couple songs on FTHC were okay. I'm with you on that, and then this newest one also hasn't impressed me. I'd say we're pretty much in the same boat, but there absolutely was a like peak Frank Turner era, and
Hmm.
got a lot of respect for the guy. I think we're probably feeling a B on him, right?
Yeah. I think. I think we joke about it, but I think my guy just needs to go home and just relax and just stop fucking touring. Just let himself reset and then get back into the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we joke about it, but like I feel like he never stops fucking touring, even
I
now.
feel like, yeah, no, I totally agree. I hate to be like, so like take this with a grain of salt, but because I hate to be that speculative guy, but I think I know I've like heard him quoted at some point or another about like the craft of songwriting versus the like writing songs because like it's cathartic and you're letting something out and it's personal. So like
Hmm.
I don't know, I feel like he really had something to say in a lot of his older songs and now it feels like he's just kind of writing
Hmm.
songs.
Yeah, because I think that is also probably why positive songs, at least at the time, resonated. least with me and you, or maybe less so you, maybe more so me,
Yeah,
is because like at least at that time we were like rock bottom now.
for sure.
So it was just kind of like
And yeah, there's definitely
it was one of those instances. It's one of those instances where like those words meant something to us.
yeah. I agree, and I also still think it sort of falls under what I was saying. Like, Tape Deck Heart still feels to me like his last super personal album, where like he was
Mm-hmm.
clearly like that shit needed to come out of him. He was like after a breakup and a very rough time for him.
Mm-hmm.
So like it doesn't feel like he was just writing. It feels like it
Mm-hmm.
came from a passionate place in him, I guess. Which is
Yeah.
just complete speculation. But and then Positive Songs on the other hand feels like a concept. And a lot of his albums have felt like concepts since then, where like he kind of came up with an
Mm-hmm.
idea. I'm gonna write positive songs and do a positive album, and then I'm gonna write songs about stories of women. It like it feels more like a songwriting exercise and more of like a craft than something that he needs to get out of him. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily think like I'm not like everyone needs to be in pain to write good music and whatever or anything like that. Like you can just be a great songwriter and do it as a craft and you can make great songs. Like I'm sure of it. But I think
Mm-hmm.
he definitely writes better music when he's got something to fucking write about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he has something that
Yeah.
personal passion
All
about.
right, there we go. We said our piece on Frank, I think.
We believe he can do better. We
He
we
can
have
get
faith in
better.
him. Oh my god.
All right, all right. Uh, so we got two more. Uh, and this
uh,
one could be a controversial one, maybe. We got Streetlight Manifesto.
A.
A. A is the
What do
huh?
you what do you think? What do you think?
If it's a personal S tier, but
I can
okay.
do
I guess we'll just go S then. But
that. They are a fantastic show.
did we see them together? I can't even remember. Sorry.
Yes. We saw them Montreal with Montreal with
Right,
David.
right, 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 right. They are a fantastic show and a band that I try to catch when they come through, which is not a lot of bands anymore. Even the ones that I really enjoy on this list, like I pass up opportunities to see them all the time. So there's that. Streetlight, I still always want to go out and see because they are one of the best shows. Um,
And you have
I do
tattooed.
have a tattoo, or at the last tattooed band I have. Um, God damn though, like just the quality of their songs is just on another level.
Mm-hmm.
From I could say pretty much every other band on this list. Personally, like in my opinion, their songwriting is just completely on another level. They aren't just a ska punk band. They totally transcend that genre. Like it's something
Yeah,
bigger and more epic and like fucking it's sick.
yeah. That, that's what I don't know how to. That's I've never known how to put it, but like I know categorically they are ska punk, but I've in my head I've never been able to call them that
No, they're like a whole other beast.
because to me they are Streetlight Manifesto.
They have transcended and it's insane. Like god damn. They're another band that I know every single song by, and we're just waiting for that next album. They do have a shorter catalog, but it's all gold. I don't know, man. Up until this point, they just
Yeah,
haven't done wrong. Um,
yeah. I can't think of any song I don't like off the top of my head.
no, and I just don't think you went down the same rabbit hole with them as I did, where like they were a band that I
Yeah,
would have constantly playing for like a year or two straight. So
yeah. I never definitely went that deep into them. Like, um, because I went through I did go through a phase, but then I also kind of I feel like it was like a mixture of transitioning into my like punk reggae slash just strip reggae. ska reggae, whatever you want to call it. Just this big mixture of this big pot of like reggae, but and also a mixture of my friend Jillian did not like them for for her reasons. So out of respect, I wouldn't play them at work.
Mm.
So whenever she was there, so there was just a mixture of yeah. I was going through another phase and that, so I didn't listen to them as much. I stopped listening to them as much as I probably would otherwise. I have been listening to some of Tokei's solo stuff, solo
He's
acoustic stuff.
insane. Yeah. uh it's just like the way that he picks that guitar is insane. It's hard shit to play. Um yeah, Streetlight S tier. Lots of respect. I think they transcend
Yeah.
punk. They transcend ska. They're just on another level musically, and they're one of my favorites.
Hmm.
So there you have that, and we got one more band, kind of anticlimactic. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we got
A
Pennywise.
A or B.
Pennywise, A or B?
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning A. I'll be honest.
I would definitely lean B personally.
Hmm.
So I think this is ironically like probably one of the ones we're more divided on, but it's just a band we haven't talked about in a long time.
Yeah, they exist.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I saw them not that long ago and with Maddie and
Hmm.
we left like halfway through. We went to Punk in the Park, I think, in Ventura out here and
Hmm.
we saw Bouncing Souls. Um and we saw like Suicidal Tendencies and some other shit and yeah, and Pennywise was finishing out the night and I don't know. I think that they are another one that falls victim to like these songs sound very very similar. I don't
Hmm.
find anything very exciting about Jim's vocals either. Honestly,
Hmm.
um, they've definitely got like a few really like catchy songs that are fun to
Yeah.
like sing along to or whatever. But honestly, I think they're one of those bands that as I got older, like if I'm just honest with myself, I wasn't as crazy about. But you know, yeah, there's still some
Yeah.
good songs. I mean, if you want to go B, we can go B. I've given my explanation. It's like around.
Like I'm not against B. I mean, like I liked Never Gonna Die, like their most recent album in 2018, which is wild that it's been 6 years. Um,
Yeah.
um, I didn't really. There's a big gap of songs, yeah, albums. Um, I'm more familiar with all their older stuff. I don't disagree with what you said. Like, yeah, Jim's voice is very
Limited.
you can recognize, yeah, very recognizable, yeah, very limited. But for me, I would say if I'm in the mood for slightly harder punk.
Yeah.
They're usually a good go-to, like a good solid go-to with a good catalog. Plus, if I'm feeling angsty, they have fuck authority, so there's that.
Yeah. I mean that they pretty much do. Just yeah, if you want a little more of an angsty punk. Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said. I mean,
They're not bad. I don't dislike them. It's just yeah, they're not anything special.
I'm
I
okay
would
to
say.
go B. I mean, on my
Yeah.
list, I'd probably go C, but you want B or A, so we'll go B.
I could do B.
All right. That's the tier
We
list.
we
So
did that.
I guess we could
Yeah.
quickly recap
That took
this, see if
way
there's
too long.
anything we want to move around. But I think we did end up um, spreading it out a little better as we went. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in S tier we got Gaslight Anthem, No Use for a Name, and Streetlight Manifesto. It's a pretty solid
Mm-hmm.
S tier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, A tier. AFI,
Hmm.
Alkaline Trio, Bad Religion, Descendants, No Effects, Green Day, and Pup.
But
B tier: Against Me, Bouncing Souls, Lagwagon, Benzingers, Flogging Molly, Rise Against, Unwritten Law, Frank Turner, and Pennywise. C tier: Less Than Jake, Rancid, Sum 41. D tier: The Offspring and Real Big Fish. And E tier: Blink 182. Sort out of pettiness. But what
I would only move two
would you move?
things. Blink to F and Rancid to D.
Blink to F and Rancid to D.
Yeah, I gotta say no, but yeah, I really yeah. That's what I would do.
I mean, I put. I, for me, Blink would be a D, but I've already established I'm down to like just be petty. So we can put them in F.
Yeah. No, I feel yeah, I don't know. Just like I said, maybe I just need to listen to it. I just feel like Dude Ranch just doesn't carry it for me. That's what I would do personally.
I would say maybe go back. I mean, I think Apple Shampoo is a good song. Um, which yeah, you probably haven't heard in several years.
Yeah, probably haven't unironically heard that since middle school.
I think that one's good. It doesn't help that like not a bunch of songs spring to mind, but um, like Untitled was also good.
I think
it's a
yeah,
Tom song, but it's good.
isn't Damn It
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Dude Ranch? Yeah, that's like the obvious standout.
yeah.
The Blink classic.
Um,
Hey,
yeah,
Blink
I'm down
classic.
to put Rancid in D too. I just don't really care about Rancid. I think they're overrated.
That's why I
I
like it
don't
over.
think they're as bad as The Offspring or Real Big Fish, but I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah,
I made both those moves for you.
yeah. Because just kind of like Rancid just kind of I feel like judging is good. Yeah, the kind of curveball. I feel like Real Big Fish. Judging by where have you been, I feel like they've proven they can make a different type of music other than ska, and they could do it really well. They just don't or haven't, I guess. Because I don't know if they still make music.
I don't think they have in a while, but I thought they were like, oh, we're gonna have a new album. I don't care.
But yeah. I don't know if you would agree with that
I'm
thought.
fine with where things are.
Yeah, just in general, I think they have the potential to be greater, but they're doing the fish.
They sure are. I mean, yeah, I guess my personal list would look maybe a little different, but it's this is pretty good.
All right,
Pretty good, pretty good.
it'll have to do.
There you have it. Um we still like a lot of these bands it seems because most of these bands did land in A or B.
I mean, at a quick skim, uh, I would say, other than Foggy Molly, Mezzinger's, Rancid, Real Big Fish, yeah, Blink and Offspring. They're almost all of those come up in like my random rotation. So,
There you go. All right, all right. Well,
yeah,
there we have it. I just keep looking at it, but that's gonna be it. We did a long
okay.
boy. I think longer than we wanted.
Yeah, it's almost 6 a.m. for me on the East
Oh
Coast.
boy, Jesus, this is definitely longer than I thought. Okay,
I told you we do this every
I don't know
time.
how we did this for like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but we did.
And we talked for an hour before that.
Yeah, just talking to each other. Yeah, it wouldn't have been that bad if we didn't do that, but
Yeah, but we did that.
Hey, you said maybe we should talk a little before we record, and I said, okay, I got a topic.
And then an hour later, we're like, maybe we shouldn't record.
We did it. All
We
right.
did it. It is done. The deed
Well,
is
let's
done.
just say we'll see everyone in the next one.
Or the next one.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Later.
Yeah. See ya.